Hey everybody, this is Ethan Evans, the Easy Coach. We're here spinning up. We're doing this our favorite informal way. Devin hasn't even gotten his coat off, but hashtag on time. Never late. So,
I was on time.
Yeah, you were.
No, like for real.
For real?
Yeah, I was 4 minutes early.
That is,
Yeah,
yes.
it's insane.
We're going to discuss what personality types lead to that.
No, can you really figure out by my personality types if I'm going to be late or not?
I don't know.
Yeah,
No, actually, I don't.
Are you the one that does know? If you don't know, then who does know?
Well, I have some friends in chat who may know. But,
The Easy Coach.
that's right.
All right.
So anyway, good evening, everyone. It's the Easy Coach. We're here with our guest, Devin Nash, and we're going over the common behavioral tests. And Devin has taken them for the first time ever in his life tonight. So we're going to cover Strengths Finder, the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, and if we have time, we'll cover the DISC test. And so we have all of Devin's results. Are we muted? It says audio pog, like they can't hear us.
I can't hear you?
I don't know.
It's streaming.
All right.
I
Chat, can you hear us?
because I see audio.
Oh, they says they can hear. Yeah, okay, cool. I just saw somebody more volume if possible. It's a bit quiet.
Let me bring it up a little.
Some people say we sound great, so who knows? Hey, Ethernight, good to see you. Anyway, we're going to go over all three tests. We're waiting for Devin to summon the rest of the Nash Nation. He's on it right now. So once everyone drops in, we'll jump into a bunch of questions. But I've looked at all of Devin's test results. Not surprisingly, he and I share some things, and then there's some places where we're quite different.
I'm kind of surprised on that too,
What, that we're different? Or
especially in the MBTI.
uh,
But that's the only one you told me. So
yeah, I didn't. It's not that I'm afraid to share. They'll all be on screen, so you can see all of my results.
do I have what it takes to be an executive?
Isn't that sort of, there's lots of different types of executives,
Me too.
actually.
Yeah. You didn't just answer yes.
Didn't just say yes?
Yeah.
You've been an executive, so clearly you have what it takes.
Maybe this
right?
entire thing is just a plan to recruit for Amazon.
That's it. Everything else.
I'm not going, Ethan. You can't make me.
Oh, well, can't is such a strong word, right?
It's the whole thing. Where did Chen get? She must be helping.
She's
Phyllis.
upstairs. Yeah, she's upstairs. We're planning a big dinner for after this. For those of you who don't know, Devin eats a lot. And so
I really do. It's disgusting.
we're planning for the. It's not disgusting. It's just intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
But we have a whole cast and crew here outside the window this time. So as usual, if you want to ask questions, use the extension. We have it on screen, so you can start asking questions anytime.
You can move. Audrey's right here. You can,
Yeah, we're directing Chin to a place to sit.
So this is a great stream for career development and what else?
We're doing her like write it live. Personal insights.
And personal insights. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's
personal insights. Don't miss it. Let's go. Twitch.tv. I'm even gonna tweet this. I never tweet.
You never tweet.
Yeah. When I do, it's serious.
Well, yeah. The only thing it's more rare. Oh, here it is too.
Yeah.
At everyone, my dudes. I've gotten the Devin Discord announcement, which does remind.
Do you like the set? Dave built this.
Yeah.
With his own two hands from a.
Let's see. There we
I
go.
made this.
I mean, that's right.
All right. So as you can tell, this is not the usual crisply organized Easy Coach stream. We're doing it the way Devin and I handle things, which is much more as it flows.
Janky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there they say, "Oh, a collab with Devin."
This is a collab with Ethan.
Yeah, there you go. So either way, because we're doing the collab with you Saturday, the resume collab.
Yeah, we got to start recruiting people for that.
Yeah,
I want to make
we'll
an
talk about it
announcement.
tonight, and you can announce it. I'll
Yeah.
blog about it tomorrow, so I will. So For everybody who doesn't know, yes, I have a blog. You've seen it before on my website.
I have.
Theeasycoach.com.
So what was happening there was I was like, you have a blog?
You have
and
a
then
blog?
you're like, yes, I do have a blog. And then here are the ways that you can access that blog.
That's
it's
right.
a call to action, Ethan Evans.
I only know how to do the ones on your channel where I talk about Prime subs. That's the only way.
You're good at that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially since this is in your name.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, depending on which name you choose to use.
Yeah, that's true.
I
can. All right. So if you end up having questions for us, everybody in my audience knows very well how to use the extension to ask questions. Our mods are ready to approve them. Meanwhile, let's talk about what we're actually going to do. We have test results for both Devin and myself that we will share on screen for the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, which is the old granddaddy of behavioral tests. It's a misnomer to call them personality tests, although some people call them personality type indicators. We're going to talk about the DISC test, maybe a little bit, and the most common modern test, StrengthsFinder. And I think, I have a couple questions for Devin once he's done summoning the hordes. Hordes, you'll have to let us know if you're here. Say something in chat.
Mill CTA. If you don't, actually, you might not have it. Clap. Or press 1. Press 1. Press 1 if you're a human being.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, we have 2.
Yeah.
There you go. There they are. So, press 1 if you're a human. I love it.
Press 2 if you're a meat popsicle.
What do they do if they're a potato?
That's a given, man. Everyone's there's not a potato emote on don't tell me what to do. Okay, sorry.
All right.
I did personality tests for the first time.
He's tweeting. This is epic here. Devin tweeting. That's why we're waiting patiently.
This is a special show on personal insights and career growth with Easy Coach. Okay. Oh yeah.
We're such geeks too. We both need laptops to do this.
It's faster. If I was on my phone, last time I came on my phone and I did it on my phone and it was too long.
Yeah.
So I didn't. Yeah.
You have a new Elon Musk tattoo?
Who said? Can you ban this guy? Get that guy out of here. How did you get here?
He's here all the time.
Is he really? That's terrible. I'm terribly sorry. Yeah.
Do we need to collaborate and share ban lists or something? Is that the collab we need next?
Or on when to ban people on Twitch. Doing a special personal insights. Oh, this is good. All right, I'm done, dude.
All right, that was easy.
Done.
Well, I'm gonna keep mine up so I can look at so that we.
I don't need it. I'm going.
You're going freestyle.
Ad hoc, improv,
right. Improv,
freestyle, rap.
All right, so questions. First, you took all these tests for the first time. What'd you think? Because you were pretty like, that seems not worth it before we started. Like I had to convince you.
You did.
Yeah.
Well, the big fan of these tests in my life is my girlfriend.
Okay.
She was like, "You should take these."
Okay.
Right away.
All right.
The day that we started dating, she's like, "This would be great." She just brought it up as like a seed.
Okay.
And so she's been waiting for this. Look at that, Mr. Esport with the tier 1 God sub.
All right.
Can we get some claps in chat?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Esport. That's awesome. Much appreciated. Love the content. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Wait, how did you clap?
That would be awesome, Dave, clapping on my behalf.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah.
That's the streamer, the producer is my proxy here. We'll talk about his test results too, by the way. We know them too.
So here's what I feel like, okay?
Yeah.
I feel like the disc thing is kind of a meme.
Okay.
And I think the StrengthsFinder is good, but also a total meme.
Okay.
And the MBTI is legit.
All right.
And so I think StrengthsFinder is a meme because it's like, wham, my feelings. But here's the deal, okay? There's 34 strengths total.
Yeah.
And I got the 34th one was empathy. it's pretty clear that I'm bad at that. But it can't just come out and tell me. It's like, oh yeah, you've got like a feeling or two over there, and it like it tried really hard in like the full results. Because what happens when you take these tests is you get this like.
Do you want to
pamphlet.
pop up his
Sure.
Like you get these
pop
like
up his strengths finder?
you get like a pamphlet, and on the 6th page was like this one note on empathy, and it was trying so hard to find something good. It was like, well, you've like had a feeling once, and I'm like, cool, man, thanks. So that felt like a meme, but the first 5 were really useful.
Okay.
And then the MBTI was like legit. That's
All
like
right.
some solid stuff.
All right, so Awesome Dave, can you scroll down in his strengths finder? I can see it from here. Can you scroll down?
Really? Almost all
I know what it
executives
is.
suck at empathy? Oh, that's Pog, dude.
Yeah. Well, so 40 Pink Dragons has taken this same test, and her empathy, she's another executive, right? Her empathy is similar to yours.
That's so cool, actually.
And would you
Yeah,
like to know
yeah.
mine of the 34? Because empathy was 34th
Was
for
last,
you.
yeah.
Yeah. Take a guess where mine is. 1 to 32. Pick a number. You can't be that wrong.
I can be completely. So I'm gonna guess like 15 because that's like the
Oh,
closest
come on.
I-
Try and actually guess. Like, do you think I'm empathetic or not?
No.
Okay. So, 40 Pink Dragons, put your empathy in chat. Mine is 32.
Let's go.
So
We're just
apparently,
everyone is just a bunch of like just people that just don't have any. Yeah,
so
like,
Do you want to see this part? Or...
no, I wanted you to go to like down near the bottom. There's a bunch of boxes.
40 Pink Dragons is 34 too. We're kin. That's
Yeah.
we
that
we
on the
equally don't care about humanity.
You just scroll down until you get to where there's a bunch of colored boxes. Just keep scrolling.
I already love this
You're going
show.
the wrong way.
I already am having a great
Not
time.
scrolling?
Oh, it's delayed here.
Oh. So input or...
There's all the way near the bottom, like at the bottom of that file.
Oh, okay.
There will be.
Oh, this is like, was this for ants?
They just need to be able to see it. It's full size.
Okay, there's gonna be like a big like list, and it's gonna be 1 to 34.
Yeah,
And it'll
we're
be a
past
whole-
that.
that-
This is
that
the,
you did.
no, keep
That was
going.
it.
Keep going.
That
Trust
was
me.
100% it, dude.
Right there.
No, there's a bunch of little boxes. That.
No one knows that,
that
but
one?
but there's a straight list that goes 1 to 34. two
Yeah.
pages up.
All right, whatever. This is impossible.
All right, no, here, I have
Where
a
the
solution.
boxes were.
It's a really
We'll let
simple
Devin drive.
solution.
You pick what you want to show.
Yeah.
Hey, an anonymous gifter gave Trainwrecks TV a tier 1 sub. That's awesome. The Trainwrecks podcast
one.
is
Yeah.
now a sub.
Here's what I'll do to fix this. I have a solution.
Who did that? I'm gonna ban you.
Yeah, I don't know. What's anonymous? That's a challenge, right?
Here you go.
Yeah, it's
Oh, that'll work. All right.
Squid W.
So anyway, keep talking about it. So what did you find from StrengthsFinder? Because you and I have some strengths in common and not.
Now I do need to pull up my list. Like, okay, well, hold on.
No, I can solve this for you. Here you go.
Are you sure? Because I'm seconds away.
Okay, you can be second.
So you're showing me the boxes, but I don't understand
like-
the boxes.
It's your
what-
numbers just in order. They're grouped by different.
What I got from it was the list.
There's your list.
Okay, so the most popular thing.
If you want to just pull up your list, I can.
I'm also pulling
All
up
right.
my list. Yeah, we're gonna have separate computers.
Separate computers. We're right back where we started.
So this is honestly the test that I took first.
Yeah.
And I got honestly because it was the easiest to buy
Yeah.
because it was just like quick. So MBTI was amazing how hard that was.
Yes.
You can't. I've never had that happen before. It was like a really interesting like type of like thing like consumer thing. I was like buy this product and it's like no. And I'm like, wait, what do you?
What do you mean, no?
What do you mean?
I
Like,
have money.
Yeah, and it's like
Take my
It's
money.
like yeah, you're just not gonna buy that. You
So
just
we'll tell
can't
this
have it.
story.
Yeah, like
Myers-Briggs can only be administered. They choose to only sell it to qualified coaches, which is a way of they're collecting a couple $100 to qualify you as a coach before they'll let you resell the test.
Yeah.
So to get Devin results, I had to work through a coach friend of mine and have her invite him to take the test, which is kind of going around. That's what we did, right? Go
Yeah.
around the system. So it took Devin a little while to get his Myers-Briggs test. Now that's from the official Myers-Briggs company.
It was like the actual thing.
You can go out on the web anytime you want and Google Myers-Briggs and find like lots of approximate knockoff tests.
I can't open it. These tech issues, man. It's like not letting me save off the email or something.
All right, do you want me just to flip
Yeah,
you?
can you pull it up?
Yeah, here you go.
That'd be cool.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
There's your
Yeah,
list
yeah.
of strengths.
So I think this is probably the most valuable.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you the way that I felt from this, and the reason why I brought up so first of all, I agree with it, right? Like,
Okay.
it's very likely that you enjoy working independently to improve in areas by nature, nutritionally. But here's what I felt. I brought up the Jungian archetypes to you: magician, warrior, king, wizard.
Yeah.
No, wizard, warrior, king, lover. Okay, and so for those.
And you say Jung, but if you really believe that the audience that you've brought is potatoes, then you have to say Jung and Jungian.
It's definitely not Jungian. That tilts me. That's Jungian. Like, okay, so there's a shadow form of each archetype.
Yeah.
And I feel like this Strength Finder really labeled me as the Dark Wizard. Like the dude that sits in a
Is that
basement.
aspirational?
It's not good.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
The dude that sits in a basement and like collects information and tells no one. So I didn't get the feeling.
How does
like,
that wait? How does that line up with broadcasting your thoughts to the world constantly? If you live in a basement and tell no one,
You should ask the test because that's what they told me.
Well,
Because-
but you said
See,
you
the-
feel it's accurate, so I'm just trying to get you to
No,
square that.
the MBTI like made me look like this outgoing badass, but
Okay.
like the Strengths Finder is like you like to sit in a basement and collect information, which is also true. And I think the problem is that both are maybe true. But I guess what I'm saying is I don't see how the results from Strength Finder are actually a strength.
Okay.
Is that fair?
So you think that it's politely labeled weakness finder?
In my case,
Yeah.
Well, there's all these other like. Where's that? Did you still have the list updated?
Yes.
Yeah. There's so many cool things on that list that are like.
And you want to be all of them.
I want to be some of them.
Yeah.
Like on this.
Agree with that.
What page is it? It's page. We're on page for the chat. We're on page 18. Look at all these cool things you can be.
yeah.
Disciplined, command, achiever, strategic. I blow at all these. Like every single one of these, I'm terrible at, and the only one that I'm
Well, it has
good
to have
at,
a top 5.
yeah, but
You
the
don't
top
like any
five
of your
suck.
top 5?
No, they suck.
What are
They're
your top? What?
They suck.
So which one of your top 5 do you like?
None of them.
None of them?
Yes.
Uh,
Okay, restorative. What does that mean? Okay, it says you're adept at dealing with problems. You're good at figuring out what's wrong and resolving it. So if I can just figure out what's wrong, it doesn't mean I'm actually going to do it. And then there's input. You need to have, this is the worst one. You need to collect and archive. You can accumulate information, ideas, and artifacts or relationships. It makes me feel like a bottle collector, like where I'm like stacking things on my shelf, like 1 bottle, 2 bottle, but again, nothing objective.
Maybe.
Nothing's happening, right? And then so that's number 2 is the input one. Like, how bad has this got to be? Notice there's no like I'm sure you got like executor, like
do you want to see mine? It's right here.
significance. That one's basically like, oh, you just you want to be important.
Want yours
You know.
now, Ethan?
There's my top 5.
You want- Well, here.
This is bullshit. Look at all this shit. This is insane. Activator, command, analytical, strategic, responsibility. Just have the company. Whatever the company is, you can have it. Like that's so my stuff is so lame compared to that.
So you're saying that the test revealed a self-confidence challenge in your life? Is that the conclusion?
It's just look at yours. Your second one is command.
Something because I don't always have a guest here that Twitch chat hasn't seen yet is my love of the straight line. And Devin,
What does that mean?
when I say things like so, the test showed you an opportunity and self-confidence. That's like a total straight line.
What's a straight line? I don't understand. Like, do you mean like you're saying it like it is?
No, a straight line. Chat, please explain to Devin a straight line.
If I don't know, they definitely don't
Oh, they do know.
Everything that they've learned is from me.
That's probably. So, but some of these aren't that good. Like they have.
Well,
they have
all mine are
downsides.
bad. Yeah.
They have downsides, like Activator. So, yeah. So, Crimson Emperor, where can you take the test? You can take.
Just Google it. Strengths
Yeah,
Finder.
Strengths Finder.
My dude.
And it's I don't know. It's cheap. It's like you have to pay for it. But it's like $30.
It's $50.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Whatever. Sorry, it's $50.
Here's the thing: you can take one for free online, and it gave me the MBTI I took online for free gave me the same result as the MBTI that
you paid for.
Well, that I didn't pay for, but
That you didn't pay for
yeah.
that you would have.
But yeah. Oh, I think I finally pulled it up. I think it's happening.
All right.
Very slowly. Yeah.
So let's see. What do we want to say about this test then? Is it useful or not?
You're the dude
Well, no,
that
I'm
knows.
trying to ask
Yeah.
you. Is it useful or not? Would you recommend? Does it matter? Should people? Did you get any insights into yourself that you care about or not?
So that's what I'm here to find out.
Okay.
You're the one that's supposed to tell me that.
Well, but I'm asking you an opinion. Then I will tell you what your opinion should be.
Oh, look at this guy. $50. I could sub to Devin Nash for 10 months with that money.
Yeah, but only.
And in those 10 months, how much would you learn about your personality? A lot, I submit to you. This guy, you're thinking with portals, my friend. I think that's right.
Yeah, it is a lot of subs.
That's a lot of money. So
what you need to do, by the way, is get your company. Tell them you want to invest in yourself, and that
That's
you
the
want to
real answer.
understand.
Yeah, that's actually the real
You
answer.
want to understand better how to interact with your peers and be effective in the workplace. And would they consider getting you into StrengthsFinder or the MBTI so that you can better understand how to be effective in the workplace? And then it's all free.
So you want my real answer? I
Sure.
guess?
Yeah.
I think this is a meme, dude.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
you said
like-
that. You said
yeah,
you
I
said you
do.
think StrengthsFinder is a meme.
Like I think it's. Here's where I don't think it's a meme.
Kristen doesn't agree, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that.
All right. She loves it.
But I'm guessing that she's like one of your people, right? Like, is she one of the people that comes to this chat often?
Yeah, she's one
So
of the
she's
people I
probably
coach
some
online.
executive director of humanity with like 700 employees. All this stuff. Like, so here's the thing, okay? Like, if you're running Amazon and you want to know what your direct report is good at or bad at, this
Yes.
is really good.
Okay.
But if you're like an individual that lives in your basement and you want to figure out what to do with your life, it's a meme, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so it's definitely, I find it useful working with people that, one of the things you get from it is an understanding, all of these tests, you get an understanding of how people are the same and different. So, for example, if we had someone here, they've talked about woo.
What does that mean?
Woo is like the undefined characteristic. I don't know. It's like influencing people, and
Why wasn't I number one on that?
we'll have to look up what the hell
Woo
woo.
is about getting energy from working a crowd. Like you just love to go to a party and talk to everybody.
That's why I wasn't
and
number
that's
one
where
on
you
that.
get your energy.
Got it.
All right,
Got it, boss.
So woo is
Yeah.
woo is like gathering energy from working a crowd, like the person who can go meet a bunch of strangers and love it. CMO with no woo. Yes, CMOs don't need woo. Like PR people need woo. Anyway, what I get out of it is knowing what not to assign people. My number one thing is activator. So for an activator, I have to take action, and so
That's so cool.
I can't sit still.
Isn't
and-
it? It's like.
And
I have to just make stuff happen. Like I just have to make the whole world go right. I'm like, well, I have to collect bottles on the shelf. That's what I have to do, Ethan.
this is like the Devin thing. He can't, he's got a self-deprecation isn't in any of these tests, but so where that shows up negatively though, and it's good to know this about myself, is I was working with Awesome Dave to set up all the new overlays you see that we added to the stream, and you can flip back to us at this point.
The problem is I don't have a good connection down here, Dave. I figured, yeah,
Yeah.
that's all right.
Anyway,
I can't access the.
but we were stuck like waiting for some tech work to happen, and I couldn't do anything, and I just wanted to like run out of the room screaming. Like I just had to wait to get.
Is that like the shadow side of activator?
Yeah, it's the shadow side. It's like being patient, no so bueno. Like so. All right. Yeah, Paintbrush Hero killed it on the overlays. They look great. All right.
Look
So
at my posture. Oh my god.
yeah,
All right, sorry.
sit up straight.
Yeah.
So
I look like a freaking restorative input intellectual guy. Yeah. I'm playing the part. All right, I got this now.
all right. So there are a bunch of questions in the extension, but they all have a single vote. So Twitch chat, if you actually want us to switch over there and answer any of the questions in the online extension, the mods will put up how to ask them again. You need to go vote and get them with more than one vote. Otherwise, we're going to just enjoy talking to each other and making fun of tests. So let's switch. Actually, I have an interesting question. How did you get directions to get to Awesome Dave's studio today?
He wrote a freaking nuclear engineering manual on it that like was like a 6-page email with like Egyptian hieroglyphics specific, like down to like the geographical coordinates, like by satellite, like to the location.
Okay.
So that I couldn't possibly miss it, even if I had 2 brain cells.
Okay. So he's so
It was impressive.
so you might imagine certain personality types lend themselves to that. So you liked MBTI. You thought that was the one test that wasn't a meme, the
He
Myers-Briggs.
told me what I want to hear, but yeah.
Oh, because
yeah,
it told you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what did you get from it? Sorry. Let me go back. What was your type according to the MBTI?
ESTJ.
ESTJ. All right.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and this is Devin's MBTI results. It's on a graph.
You want to put it up?
Oh, I thought you did. Yeah, you'll have to switch this back over. So that's Devin's MBTI results.
It's still not up.
No,
it is.
it'll show up in a sec.
Oh,
It's
because
just a lag.
that's a delayed stream.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, that's Devin's MBTI, which shows he's extroverted. Does anyone really doubt that? That he's sensing, uses more sensing than intuition, more thinking than feeling. And by the way, you were completely pegged on that.
That was insane.
Like as far as it goes.
I have 98% thinking.
Right.
I feel nothing.
Which
And I
goes
have
with no empathy.
With 34. This is actually insane. Like, am I a serial killer? Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I could be. I guess.
Did you want to make this like confessions of
Just
this?
like straight up like Joker movie status, dude. Like,
And then
yeah.
judging.
Yeah.
So flip to mine. Do you want to take a guess since you won't be able to read it down there?
You told me yours already.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
I'm
should have said yes and then just nailed it. And like,
I'm of course INTJ.
why are there so many INTJs here?
It's the archetype for executives and computer scientists. It's the most common
rough.
for those two. And so particularly my stream is going to be but the reason you and I get along so well, you've never seen it as a graph. Look at where my thinking is.
Yeah, you're
Right? Like
Yeah, you're high.
we're like we're not twins on the extroversion sensing thing, but on the thinking and judging we're almost identical.
It's always very strange to me how MBTI rates me and ESTJ. That it happened in both tests because
He took a free version as well as the paid version.
at the same or like earlier. But like it's weird. Where can I get the Myers-Briggs test Devin used? Well, I got the official like ham one, but okay. Here's what's weird about extroverted.
Okay.
I just want to stay at home and play video games and not talk to anybody. But if I have to talk to someone, I'm really good at it.
And you get a lot of energy from talking to people. Like you like to talk for hours.
No, it's
Oh, that's-
exhausting. I only run a 4-hour stream a day because I can't run an 8-hour stream.
Okay.
Like, so you'll get like those people that are like, like your XQCs and people like that will stream like 10 hours because they legitimately like feed off of it. But I hate my chat, so I can't. I'm there for 4 hours and I'm like, okay, I have to leave now. I've had.
Well,
enough.
interesting.
Yeah.
So I wonder why it made you extroverted.
When he's on time.
Sweet.
Don't blue face me, chat. All right. Yeah.
All right. So I brought up the directions you got here. Dave's type is ENTJ.
I was gonna donate 100.
Is that right?
You weren't.
I flip the E and the I sometimes, but
Yeah.
most of the time it's ENTJ.
Yeah.
So Awesome Dave's ENTJ, but he wrote like the exhaustive directions, and that's something I would do.
ENTJ.
Yeah. So,
That's cool. Yeah.
but why do you feel this nailed you, or why do these results please you? Because you said this one told you what you wanted to hear.
Well, because because everyone wants to think they're extroverted,
Okay.
and I think, and everyone wants to think. So S is sensing.
Sensing. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. I don't think I can do both of those things, so it's nice that it told me that I can.
Okay. So you're looking for any test for you that gives positive feedback.
Yeah.
So, without giving her name, your girlfriend is in the audience. Should we check any of these ratings with her to see?
Wait,
if
what's
she...
this? This wasn't in the script. What do you mean check the ratings? Like see how
Well,
realistic
to
she was?
see if someone who knows you well feels that they're accurate.
You want to come on?
But she doesn't have to come on. You can talk from there, or you can pass it through chat.
Can they hear me from here?
They probably can't, but I can repeat it.
Okay. So the E and the I.
They can kind of hear her. Yeah.
Basically, what Devin said, that I think he gets his energy from being alone.
Okay,
but-
he gets his energy from being alone.
Yeah, but he doesn't mind like being in like social settings and actually like talking to people, because for most introverted people, they're just like scared of like talking.
Ah,
Yeah.
That's right. That's so
Okay.
that's so much brain. Like if I go into a party scenario,
Right.
and like I'm there, I will kill it. You see me at parties.
Yeah.
We've been to parties. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be it. But like after that, I'm like, God, I just want to go play video games for a week. Yeah. So I guess that's like the difference.
so you're not getting energy from it.
I'm really not.
But
Yeah.
but when in that situation you're comfortable.
I do get energy
effective.
from people though.
Yes.
Like when you and I.
That's what I've noticed is you get energy from
When you and I are talking about some like big brain, like deep philosophical concept, I come out of that and like for the next like 2 days, I'm like, ooh, like I'm in it.
because when you have Dr. K on your stream, you're wound up after that. Like you're both
yeah.
exhausted and exhilarated.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
like and
Yeah.
when we had we can't go into details unfortunately Twitch chat, but when we had the night that never happened at TwitchCon,
Yeah, same thing.
you were
Yeah, yeah.
energized in the same way.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I went home
Or-
after that in the middle of the
you're
night
like,
and
"Holy-"
crashed.
Yeah, yeah.
And you were like, "Oh yeah, I was up all night after that."
Yeah. But like also like any conversations that you and I have had off stream where we can cover everything we talk about, I have that feeling.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
All right.
for sure.
So we don't have to stay on this subject, by the way. We can go start answering stream questions because people have finally voted, and we can talk about these tests more. So mods, let's see. We need Awesome Dave to return to his workstation.
He's like in the
He's trying to get a mic set up.
Oh, that's
Can you flip us back over to the Q&A screen? To the yep. And then pin the first question. Sweet. So Twitch chat wants to know what are the minimum skills are the most important for success?
in general.
Being able to write a sentence is one of them.
What are the minimum skills are the most Did you ever went to school?
We're probably losing me a subscriber forever
I hope
here.
so.
That's what's happening right now.
Don't worry, they probably couldn't have read it to subscribe. They actually couldn't have read the button to actually push it, so you'll be fine. They found their way here by clicking a link somehow on accident. Yeah.
So we have someone who's willing to cop to having voted for it. At
Extreme
least.
ownership.
All right. Very well. Well, typos happen. So what are the minimum skills? What minimum skills?
What minimum skills are most important for success?
All right. You want to
Yeah.
take that? What do you want to say?
What do you want? Do you want general skills? Like you just asking the
Well, it's
question?
probably it doesn't seem highly related to these tests.
That's probably okay, because honestly, I don't think that most people take these tests, so they won't like know everything. So these kind of things are good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not worried about.
The minimum skills that are most important for success. I think
We're being called out. Neither of us have high empathy. Yeah, true.
I think it's conscientiousness and grit. So
Yes.
conscientiousness is like grit just being how tough are you to keep going through things. But that is so much. Like I didn't stream the last 2 days because I like feel bad. you know. But the reality is, like, if you have the grit to do that, that's 2 more days of success you have over someone that felt bad.
Yeah.
Right? So grit is a huge factor in success. Conscientiousness is just like, how attentive are you going to be to detail? How much do you want to answer an email? And then answer, like, I can't tell this story, the one I told you yesterday. So let me really quickly configure this in my mind so that it doesn't sound like what it is. Okay. So, there are sometimes I'll be working with people
Yes.
who just they will. Have you ever gotten like I know you have, like, a page email and it doesn't say anything?
Sure. Yeah.
There's a page of words on it, but nothing is done, nothing is moved forward, and there is nothing objective about it. And I was like storming around the office yesterday because I had this interaction where, like, I could not complete anything. I was trying to get a fairly simple project moved forward.
Right.
By asking, like, if there were some things that I could get, and like the answers I got were just so vague and useless. So, and this went on for like 30 minutes, drove me crazy. So when I say conscientiousness, what I mean by conscientiousness is, I mean, like, can you communicate in a way to somebody that they can understand it?
Okay.
And can you create things in the world in a way that people can interact with them and do it? So conscientiousness and grit is what I think are actually things, the precursors to success. And that's
Okay.
what matters. Yeah. Can you
So-
tough it out?
so-
And can you be understood?
One of our resident psychologists, Life Coach 724, says skill and passion. Would you say grit and passion are the same, related, or not at all the same?
That's a meme answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
He's not a memer.
well, it depends on what kind of life coach he is. If you got a certificate from like lifecoach.com,
No,
like,
no,
but
no.
if he's like a real dude, like, cool, like, yeah.
No,
But
no.
like, so here's the problem with those, right? Skill is predicated on conscientiousness and grit because you don't develop it unless you have those two things. Passion is like, the older that I get, the less that I put into passion. When I was younger, I was like, it all, like, because if you ask a lot of pros, like real people that are good at what they do, they don't say that they love what they do all the time.
No, well, nobody loves what they do all the time.
They're like, I generally feel like I'm on the right path and I'm contributing, but man, it sucks sometimes. And they do it anyway.
Yeah, that's the grit part.
Because they want to. Because they
But
want to
it's a
contribute.
type.
They
So
wanna
it's
add
interesting.
value.
It's how you define passion. Could we? The man is dry. Could we beg someone in
Sorry.
the broad audience to?
We're right here, right, for now?
Yeah,
I
we're good.
literally went to hot yoga 2 days in a row, and I drank like not a lot of water.
So we could
I'm
end up
dying right now.
getting questions about hot yoga, which will be great.
Let's do it.
All right. So I think the thing with passion is
Well, how do you define it?
it is how you define it. If it's
No,
just
how do
like
you
how do I define passion? I define passion as caring about something enough to act on it.
Oh, well, that's like, yeah, I define it as how excited you are about something.
Like
So that's totally different. Yeah.
they're related or coupled, but they're not the same. Because yeah, just being like, "Woo, I really care about this, and I love to shout about it, but do nothing," that's like empty passion, I guess.
Yeah.
Passion in the sense of like the activator piece of like I'm driven to make a change. That's another type of passion. So anyway, I'm not our schedule and Ethan's personal blog. Yep. Okay. So what are the most important minimum skills? See, minimum skills, it
Thank you
depends.
so
It's
much.
totally dependent on the job.
God.
Different skills. So we're really talking about traits. And for that, I agree. It's my definition of passion. It's grit. It's basically ability to get things done. So, yeah, Life Coach came back and said inner motivation for something that makes you tick is
Yeah.
how he's defining passion. And that's why I knew that was his definition. It's not just, I'm loud about this and I get excited.
I think
easily.
motivation's a meme, man. I don't think anybody's motivated to get up at 4:30 in the morning. And, like, there's no inner burning
Again, it's
desire
how
to
you're
do it. It's just an iron will. This is
you're
the
putting
hot
it
take,
all well. Okay, so you're putting it all on willpower.
No, on cultivated discipline.
Cultivate-
As a result of believing that you have something higher to serve than what you're doing. You have an
But the
obligation.
higher, okay, so this is a good debate because the higher to serve. So where this ends is we pour like 4 glasses of water down his throat, and then I'll carry the show for half an hour while he's busy.
More vodka?
I'm so sorry. I feel like I'm. Yeah.
No,
I feel like I should be going. Yeah, thank you.
It's awesome. So I feel
Disagree. Good shit.
who's disagreeing? Disagree.
Disagree too. All right. Yeah.
That's okay. It's good to have
You
disagreement.
can
here.
come on my show. We can fight about this.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So I feel like if you have a higher calling, if you've decided something is a mission in life, then I would define that as your passion. Like I do the Easy Coach because I care about it. And so that's a passion for me, but you're using the words and so I'm motivated to do it because I get value from it. And I feel it's part of my life mission. But you're using the word sort of different.
Well, my problem with passion is the reason when someone said, "What are the minimum skills?"
Yeah, neither of those are skills, right?
No,
those
no,
are
no.
like traits.
I'm not going to go that semantic. What
Okay.
I'm saying when they say, "What are this?" God damn this question. What minimum skills are the most important for success? Right?
Yeah.
Like this guy's either like a 10 out of 10 troll, maybe. Like they're just like, yeah.
He suckered in all the voters with
What
him.
minimum skills are the most important for success? The problem with passion is how do you work on passion? How do you improve your passion? But conscientiousness and grit,
Oh, that's good.
you can like
No, that's a
conscientiousness and
legit
grit,
point.
You can improve on that. Conscientiousness be having more attention to detail.
How to be more passionate. Yeah, that's
how the fuck do you
tough.
get more? How do I
All right.
get more motivation?
So
that's my
now
problem.
you
with
are
that.
convincing me passion is a derivative or it's a second order effect then about caring about something. Because you can
That's right.
decide what
Yeah.
you're committed to.
Oh yes, yeah,
And
absolutely.
I'm now defining passion as
Outside of
coming
passion.
from that.
Yeah.
But it's
You got it.
derivative. All right, now I'm with you. This always happens with Devin and I. We argue it out and there's commonality. All right, let's hop. So
Wait,
for
we
the,
didn't conclude anything.
yeah, we're done. Next question.
Wait, we are?
With that one, we're done with that. Yeah, this was coming.
My man.
All right, here we go.
Yeah,
Awesome Dave delivers.
this is good.
That's actually though not such a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is a lot of vodka. The show's gonna go very sideways soon.
Yeah.
All right, next question, which is up, right, is what is one action you can take after taking these personality tests?
So
Yeah, we need Kyle's not here. Hydrate Right Now is usually on and he's not like here to like enjoy his moment.
you think this is good stuff to include in like a job career interaction? So like if you're applying for a job, including your personality test, you think that's a good meme?
No.
Why not? I don't know if it is. I'm just asking.
A couple
I'm asking
reasons.
the expert.
It would be unusual and therefore weird, and I don't apply it, unless weird is clearly positive. I would not like something unusual in a really great way. I would not include this kind of data in an application or early job interaction. What I would do is I would use my strengths and say, based on my experience and my past deliverables, I have an insatiable, like using mine, I have an insatiable drive to get things done. Or my career has been defined by my insatiable drive to move things forward.
So you would use this to inform you as to how to better communicate to get a job.
Yes. And to match my strengths, like
I like that.
I would use it to say, look, this is who I am as an employee or as a leader. If that's the type leader you want, then I'm the right leader for this role. If that's not the leader you want, that isn't how I would do it.
Okay.
So I would not put them in a job app. But in terms of this question, what's one action you can take? I have pretty clear opinions about that. First, look at the test, and if you agree with your strengths and agree with your weaknesses, then you have to think about, is my job right? No, it's in my Discord. Which you can find the link, just scroll down or
It's right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great. It's in chat. You use your strengths to figure out the right type of job for you, a job match. If you don't, if for some reason you don't agree, let's see. Life Coach says, after the test, ask the closest. Oh, yeah, this is what we were just doing, right? You get people closest to you in your life
to
tell you whether or not it's accurate.
That's generally good advice anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, if you can get in front of somebody that's close to you and really knows you, to just ask yourself because one of the things that I've been thinking about is this is a good 180.
All right.
I've been thinking about what prayer is.
Okay. Wow. All right.
And I think that prayer is asking yourself a question and then causing an answer, because there's an observable self and there's a self, right? You could ask yourself a question and get an answer.
Sure.
Something else answers it and something else asks it. Okay, let me get it back to the theme now.
Okay.
Yeah, because it goes really far. So there's a lot of value, and we call that process, by the way, the name of that process is introspection.
Okay.
Right? Introspection meaning I look into myself for an answer that I didn't think about before. The fact that the human mind can do that is amazing.
Sure. Yeah.
So introspection in of itself is a valuable skill, but yet another valuable skill that you can do is ask people that are close to you, like, what do you think are the top things that I need to work on, or how do you feel are like the top strengths and weaknesses that I have, and then listening to that. It's incredibly valuable to get that kind of feedback.
And I did this. When I took this test. When I've taken all of these tests, I've shared them with my wife and said, do these
resonate with you?
Yeah. Where does this match me or not? We're getting, all right. This is chat service. See, because chat here is calling out, get some coasters under the glasses. So that's.
What if most people answer you nicely to avoid being negative? So that is a actually awesome question, Ipashi. The way that I would answer that is a big problem if people are answering you nicely is that you are not communicating to them correctly, because what's happening is you're not telling them, you're not creating an open space. Okay. So if there's a huge difference between going to someone like, hey, like, what do you think some of my weaknesses are? And they're going to immediately be guarded, right? Because they're going to be like, well, I don't know, but
you're like too kind.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
a weakness.
yeah.
You're too
That's
kind.
what I would say, right? But if you go to somebody and you say, listen, like, Ethan, like, dude, I'm trying to do some introspection on myself and kind of figure out like the kind of person I'm worried about a couple of things, and what if I could just create a completely safe space with you, and like I promise, like without any judgment, because I really just want to know and I really value your opinion and your take on me. What do you think are some of the things that I could work on? And then like also if I don't jump him with that and like I say like, hey, maybe we'll have this conversation in like a day and you can like think about it. I think if you're getting that kind of response from people that are they're just being too nice to you, you're not communicating clearly on what you want.
Yeah. Or yes, completely agree. Particularly if you give them warning and you say, hey, I'd like to get some feedback from you. I don't want to surprise you. I want to know some things I could work on. Could you take a couple that, would you be willing? You also asked a question. Would you be willing?
No empathy.
Yeah. Would you be willing? Well, mine's only learned by rote. Would you be willing to?
Yes, it took me a minute.
To tell me some thoughts tomorrow.
Green signal, yellow signal, red signal, like green, show empathy. Like,
Yeah, I have a big sign in my office. It's behind the people I'm talking to. It says, be empathetic.
Yeah, that's good.
Not true.
Not true. I've seen
Actually, what I do is I have a clock over their head, so I know how much longer I have to... anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, not empathetic.
Do you ever tell the book story about your office? I thought that was fun. Can you tell that story? Because I thought that was really interesting.
The book's outside my door?
Thing. The book's on your table. And why you have them.
Oh.
Yeah. That's a really good meme. But you may not want to tell it.
No, I have two books on my on my coffee table in my office, which Devin is seeing, and we'll get back to this answer. The one that faces... that neither of them are here.
No, the dude's saying something about books on the left side is tilted.
Oh, it's probably bothering him that like first break off the rules is a little
You're gonna
weird.
live, bro.
Yeah. Go get through it.
You'll make
So
it.
on the coffee table in my office,
empathy.
I have a book on humble inquiry, and that book faces me. And humble inquiry was recommended by a previous guest here, who was talking about the art of leading through honest questions, like by asking questions rather than giving direction. And I read the book and I put it on my coffee table to remind me to ask better questions. And then I have a little book.
So that's the one he sees.
Yeah, that's the one I see. And then I have a little book on, it's called Get Shit Done. and that one faces where my guests usually sit. Yeah, I'd recommend the book Humble Inquiry. It's short. Humble Inquiry is about how to ask better questions and how to ask honest questions that are not meant to lead, right? Because you can ask questions like, so, is that idea as expensive as it sounds? Well, that's not an honest question. You're giving an opinion stated as a question. It's a very short, easy book. Now, Get Shit Done as a little like coffee table book. I'm not talking about. There's a book on getting things done that's. So I think everyone in chat should read Humble Inquiry. Yeah, Getting Things Done is not what I'm talking about. Yeah. There's a little like sayings book about get shit done.
My understanding of why you had the book on the side that your employees would sit on.
Yeah, I'm telling them get shit done.
It's because you're sending them the message to get shit done. So on his side, he has a reminder for himself, and on their side is like a subtle reminder for them to get shit done.
I'm an activator.
It's pretty remarkable.
Plus, one of Amazon's values is bias for action. And our number, like our big value at the end is deliver results.
Yeah, based on data-driven results.
Yeah, but like get shit done. And the other thing is, honestly, I found that book in my boss's office. So I did like, I just cascaded. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. So I absorbed the message. So the action to take after these personality tests, I think Life Coach nailed it, which is ask the people closest to you, is it accurate? And then for the parts that are strengths, go do that and lean into those and know you're good at it and try to find jobs that match those strengths. And for the things that are weaknesses, be aware of your weaknesses, mitigate them, and try to surround yourself with people who complement your weaknesses. Because I'm very impatient and I rush to judgment. So I need to be surrounded by people that don't have those flaws. I can collaborate great. Like for us to rap about ideas, I can collaborate great with people who are just like me. But if we actually need to work together, like Devin and I would be ineffective as a working duo if we don't add someone to us who has different strengths, who's going to do all the stuff that he and I are like, yeah, fuck that. Because there's a long list.
Somewhere? Yeah. I think that. I never thought about that, but.
All right.
But neither of us would do anything anyway. We just get other people to do it.
Yeah. So we're gonna roll to the next question, which I don't even know what to do with.
You skip it. It's a meme. Don't reward them.
Don't reward. Yeah. All right. So there's so many votes for it. Are you sure? No meme reward?
There's 4 votes for it.
All right.
Get that out of here.
All right. We're gonna.
Because the next question is actually quite good.
All right. Great. Yeah. The next question we'll put up is why do my results on these tests change?
Oh, I thought it said what. Sorry, this is.
Oh, we can answer that too. I'll answer this. Then you can answer what.
Okay.
So why do they change? There's a couple reasons. Your working style, your behavioral style does evolve with time, but it usually takes a long time. The bigger thing that will change them is the context in which you think about them. So specifically, if you take the same behavior test and you think about a context like your personal life, you may get different results than your work life. So, for example, 40 Pink Dragons, who shared test results with me, her results changed after she changed jobs. And so in a different context, she suddenly had used the coaster. Wow, this is they can even see it behind the laptop? I guess maybe. There you go.
Can you guys chill?
Well, I'm sure they love the people running around like, you need to ask for a higher level of service or something.
Your book is slightly tilted.
Yeah.
Tilted to 10 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, why do your results change? They change based on different contexts. So if you're answering in your personal life, it may be different than your work life. And if you change jobs or roles, it may change somewhat. A bigger thing, if you want to go further afield, is like if you happen to be religious, how you behave in a church context can be very different than how you behave in, say, a Las Vegas context. So if you answered like,
you know what I thought about on that?
Go ahead. I don't.
What would happen if you took this test and you just come back from a party, or you took this test after a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat?
Like
you
one
get
of
a
the
completely
silent
different-
meditation.
Yeah,
Yeah, you get a different like
that's not good.
no, and that's one of the complaints about them.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had the thread yet, although some of the folks in chat here, we talked about it in Discord. Um, uh, we talked about it in Discord, which is what's up with the are these tests accurate? Are they scientifically based? Are they useful? Are they valid?
I just learned last week that nothing is really scientifically based in psychology, and I really looked into this for a long time now, and I actually really understand it.
Okay.
Did you know this?
No. And I suspect you're going to get some audience disagreement that nothing in psychology is scientific.
Literally nothing is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Strong statement. Explain.
So our entire basis of clinical psychology is based off an arbitrary manual for researchers that was just invented based on consensus of what is
what is a valid
psychology.
test?
Yeah. And it's called a DSM. And so this is one of those Dr. Kanajaya things.
Yeah.
And he told me this, and I was like, really? And then I actually looked into it really hard, and it's like, it's actually true. So that doesn't devalue necessarily observational hypothesis, right? So it's like I need to stop using these words because like people are like, what the hell is this guy talking about? So if you look at something and then you make a call based on what you've seen, that has validity to some extent.
Right.
But to pretend that there's scientific correlation there doesn't exist
What if you
in terms of psychology.
What if you write down standards as best you can for like behavior?
That's what we've done.
Right, but
Yeah.
then you examine 1,000 subjects and 700 of them do one thing and 300 another, different behaviors. Is there a scientific basis
I
to
don't
say this
understand what you
behavior
mean.
is predominant?
What do you mean?
Well, so like there was a famous test in psychology in the past or in human behavior where a psychologist put an actor behind a screen.
Okay.
And he told people who came into his lab, we're running a test on training this subject. And what I need you to do is when they answer a question wrong, you press this button to shock them. And the more questions they get wrong, the more you'll shock them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So in reality, it was just an actor who
pretended to be shocked.
yeah, and screamed louder. And what they found was under the lab officer's orders, most people would
continue to do
shock
it.
the
Yeah.
person even when they're like screaming in agony. And so
But would not do it if they were self-directed. Was the other core
right.
part of that test.
And so from that they derived that from a psychological basis that people are compliant in the presence of perceived authority. So is that scientific or not?
It's not scientifically okay. So what do you think I'll answer your question. And I'll like
Okay.
get it. What do you think the most scientifically correlated metric we have for success is?
No idea.
It's IQ.
Okay.
So if you look at IQ for somebody, right, you can tell based on 3 variables: IQ, conscientiousness, and grit, which is why I answered that way in the
Okay.
previous one. How successful someone is going to be. For example, like a person with like 150 or like 135 to 150 IQ is going to be most likely some kind of like executive or software engineer or something like that. And you can just go down the line, and then you can go to IQs that are so low that people are essentially unemployable. All right. So do you know what the correlation is for IQ to success?
no,
It's 0.3,
that's pretty low.
meaning we still have 70%
Yeah, it's
unaccounted
pretty low.
for. Meaning, and that is the most scientifically correlated thing we have for success. So to answer your question,
Yeah, well,
there is a correlation maybe, but to what extent? Is it
It's
0.1?
definitely-
Is it
it's
0.2? Yeah. So the problem here is that to make an objective statement on something that there is an actual correlation between two things is really difficult, and that science for the most part shouldn't be relied on to make objective statements about what we ought do from a psychological standpoint. Now we can use the best we have, but we need to understand that there's a lot of dark matter in that analysis.
I'll give it.
Yeah.
So I think there's a lot of value in the models we have for understanding, but to claim that they're completely predictive or we understand the human brain, not true. All right, so we haven't talked about this for a bit. It's time for call to action time. So for all the audience, Mods, can you give the YouTube link? We need people to follow us on YouTube. If you haven't dropped a follow on this channel, please do. We'll also talk about this. Devin and I are going to be streaming this Saturday on his channel to do resume review.
Speaking
I'm going
of
to bring
IQs,
my resume.
we're looking at yours, chat.
Yeah, chat. You have to get your resumes to me or to him.
You can submit a resume. I'm gonna give you a link on my Discord. Okay, you can submit your very own resume to be reviewed by myself and the god of resumes, Ethan Evans. You've interviewed
2,500 people.
25.
roughly.
That's interviews. So how many resumes have you looked at in your life?
Oh,
He can't even
10,000.
count.
Yeah, 10,000.
Yeah. Okay, so like this is an opportunity to elevate your career. How much would you pay for this opportunity? $1,000, $5,000, a Twitch Prime sub, right?
There it is.
And plus, thank you
And
very
plus,
much.
yeah, thank you. And Twitch Prime, my product. Thank you so much.
You can't imagine how much this is worth. We're gonna do it for you. No, we don't speak
Mine
Spanish.
is in Spanish. Oh, that sounds like a challenge that we can drop it in Google Translate because your employer doesn't speak Spanish either.
No bueno.
Not here anyway. And so I'm bracing for death. It should be fun. Yeah.
So if you want to get an early edge on this, you can email me at. Should I email? Should I? I don't
Oh,
want.
this is interesting.
I don't want your emails.
Hey,
actually.
Heather.
Well, actually, it has to be kind of emails, right? Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll post it on Discord tonight, though. But yeah, resume stream. It's gonna be popular.
Yeah, awesome. So
Saturday.
that'll be Saturday. So you got a couple days to get it in. So going back to this, we skipped. We're gonna leave. You can leave the question that's up, but we'll get to it in a minute. You wanted to answer the question: what do these results change?
Yeah.
So go ahead. Chat didn't ask, but you wanted to
I
answer.
asked, yeah.
You ask, and you have that right. You get at least 5 votes verbally.
That's cool. That's a lot of votes.
Wow.
That's
I don't know. Chat can overwhelm you if they're motivated.
Is it-
Oh wait, there is no motivation. There's only grit.
Yeah, exactly.
If chat
And they don't
were
have
gritty,
what it takes.
if chat were gritty, they could vote more than 5 votes.
And
So
they
what
don't
does
have
this
what it
change?
takes. So I think what it changes is introspection, I think, is a learned skill. I could be wrong on this, but I feel like I've gotten better at introspection over time. That is to say that, like, when I first started asking myself what was wrong with me, I didn't produce very good answers. But now that I've done it for many years, I think I get much more clarity. So I think if you don't feel like you have good introspection, another way to say that is if you feel like you can't figure out what's wrong with you, or you don't have a good understanding of what your strengths and weaknesses are, these tests can actually really help you fast forward. So it's like, let's say that you're climbing a staircase, okay? And at the beginning of the staircase is you know nothing about yourself. At the top of the staircase is you know a ton about yourself, enough to make informed decisions about what you should do, okay? I would say a personality test, in a weird way, can actually be kind of an elevator.
Okay.
It takes you a few steps up on its own.
Okay, and that's what I think. They give you some insight into yourself, another view into yourself you may not have.
Yeah.
And they also, frankly, though it's confirmation bias, can confirm things about you that you may not know or that you may suspect.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, you can send them to either Devin or to Easy Coach in Discord, either one. Send us your resumes and we'll pick from them. We're going to do like a speed round. It's going to be like speed dating with resumes.
You absolutely need to take off all of your information. I know you're going to do this. No phone numbers, no emails, no full names, none of that stuff, okay? Just put your gamer name and like you could put like address here if you wanted to write it there so we could judge it there, but don't do any personal information. And we're not going to take that off ourselves.
Yeah, we don't have time for that. So if you put personal information out, like you're doxing yourselves and we're unapologetic.
No, we're not going to do that. We're not allowed to do that on Twitch.
What?
We can't pull up someone's information on Twitch. We can't do that, dude. We're gonna get banned. You're not gonna get banned, but I'm probably gonna get banned.
Wait, if it's hold on.
Yeah.
Even if it's with permission?
I'm pretty sure you can't leak like someone else's address. I'm pretty sure you can't do that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm pretty positive we can't.
Because I certainly no, I
You're
certainly
not empathetic to care enough about doxing though. Yeah. And I'm not empathetic either. I just care about getting banned.
Well,
so,
it's interesting because I absolutely that's a nuance. I'd be curious. I'll have to. I will not talk about it here, but I will go ask the moderation team because I certainly have shared somebody's resume that had their info on it with their permission. Like I had explicitly talked to them about you know this is going to go on a stream, like, and he was fine with me doing that. So we went over his
Easy
resume.
Coach banned on Twitch. Live stream failed, dude. Top thread. 30 minutes.
Yeah, it'll be there.
They're coming.
No, but I have permission in writing. I think I'm totally good on that. It'll be interesting to learn if I'm not.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I don't
like,
know. Yeah.
That would be permission.
Permission feels right.
Permission
Yeah.
feels right, but yeah, if it's
Just extremely unwise.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, yeah. My stream is totally safe though. This is a Devin Nash stream problem because I did it and he was fine. Anyway,
He's fine as of now.
as of
Yeah.
now, yeah. All right. So we have another question. Can these results? Here we go again. Can these results for these tests? All right. That's right. Can these results for these tests change over time with age and more work experience? Yes, absolutely. They don't change very fast. They can also change with intentional personality modification or shock therapy, maybe. But if you work to change your behavior style and you learn compensatory mechanisms or you learn new ways to interact, you can change. You're not going to change that far from your base style, but you can.
Compensatory mechanisms.
Compensatory
that was
mechanisms.
good.
Is that much too big? You were telling me earlier
Big
not
too
to
much?
use big words.
Have you ever looked at a website called Hemingway.com?
No.
This is I think it's HemingwayApp.com. Let me show it to you real quick and chat can pull it up. This is a super pog website. So I use this for everything. Oh, I can't go to websites here. Oh, because my connection is interrupted because I just don't have one down here. Dude, no, it's okay. We're in a basement. Can you pull it up? So search HemingwayApp.com. Yeah, we should pull it up for the stream anyway. Great idea. Dave is ahead of us. Anyway.
All right.
HemingwayApp.com.
So describe it while he's doing
Yeah.
it.
So what it's going to be is it's going to be a... Yeah, that's right. Okay, good. Sometimes I'm afraid. So what it's going to be is it's going to be a page where you you can write...
I'm going to go look at this
Yeah,
while you
yeah,
talk.
you should totally...
Yeah, you talk.
You write paragraphs, and what it does is it auto-corrects you based on readability factor. So
nice.
ideally you want... This has been such an incredible tool for me for business. I put this in everything that I write. And what it will do is because let's say that you have a propensity to write at like an 11th grade level or something.
Right.
Okay? And you might think this is good, but the reality is that most people don't understand you. And even if they did, you could probably say something simpler.
Yeah.
Okay. So the idea of speaking in this way to relate to compensatory mechanisms, right, is if you can speak in a way where your objective is to be understood, it's better, right?
Yeah.
So the easier that you can say something for it to be understood, the better. And I would argue that this is really important in writing too. So Hemingway app made me think about that.
Nice. So you can change your test results over time, but it's very difficult. And that's okay, though. You basically should focus on improving your strengths, doubling down on them, making them stronger. And if you have crippling weaknesses, learning out how to avoid crippling other people with them. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's see. Let's go on to the next question.
I have no idea what this means.
Have
This is
you
like a-
written your user guide to you for the people who work with you based on these tests? Okay, no, I get it. The question is, have I ever described to people who work with me how they need to interact with me to be successful? Basically, do I tell my team how my brain operates so they can interact with
that's
me?
good.
And yes, I have done that. I absolutely explain
cool.
to people how I operate so they know how. So, for example, I like a lot of insight and information, and I am sometimes thought of, some people feel that I micromanage them. And so what I have told them is I don't want to micromanage you, but what I do is I like a lot of information. So if you don't want to feel micromanaged, the way out of that is to proactively volunteer information to me. So send me data before I ask and keep me well informed, and I will never bother you.
I was taking a note on what he's saying because it was so good. Are you literally giving me?
No,
Oh, he's not.
I'm like, no, I was talking to chat. I'm like, yeah. Like, it's
Yeah,
like,
you're
yeah.
apparently not allowed to learn here.
You
Neither
know what
am
I wish I used to have this but you know what is so messed up about that? If I had had a physical notebook and I had taken the note, nobody would have said a thing. But because I pulled my phone out, the perception was that I was like checking Twitter.
Yeah,
right?
well,
yeah.
because it's ambiguous,
I-
right? A notepad.
I lost my notepad. Like, yeah, but I could be drawing like a cat.
It's
which is probably what I would be doing. Like, yeah. So I lost my notebook randomly in Seattle. It's just gone.
oh,
Yeah.
all the secrets we had.
All of them.
Oh no.
Yeah. Every one of them, including that one.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, that's bad.
I know. So it's
All
gone.
the money's gone. Like,
But here's
wow,
here's the thing.
future.
It rained, and it was like raining for 2 days. So
Oh,
it's
so it's
probably,
erased.
Yeah, it's all
no
gone.
one. All right.
Yeah, the
Our
Library of
business plan is
Alexandria has
safe.
been burned down, but
All right.
so I need a new one so that I can write things down because that was actually such a cool thing of like for relationships, like communicate to a person. Don't just assume that a person knows what you want.
Yeah. Well, this
Yeah,
is another
that's
thing.
really good. Yeah.
I've shared with my wife. We share a common trait, which is neither of us does well with unmet expectations or specifically plans that change. Like if we have plans that change unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Like that's super hard. Some people can
You
just
don't
roll
say.
with it,
Yeah.
but like if a plan changes unexpectedly in a negative way, we both need like time to emotionally reset and we get frustrated. And so knowing that about someone means don't like you can give someone your interface. You can actually, this I'm computer science talk, right? You can actually tell someone your programming interface so that they know how to like work with you effectively. So yes, these tests are awesome for that. Have I ever written my user guide? I've written parts of it. I've never tried to write like a comprehensive guide to Ethan, but I probably could.
I'd read it.
What? You'd
read
read
it.
it?
Oh, yeah.
The guide to Ethan?
Yeah, I would.
All right. Shinabazu's here. That's awesome.
Sup, dude?
Editor especial.
Sup, dude?
All right. Let's see. So that was a great question. If chat has any more questions, we're winding down to the low vote questions. So you need to go into the extension and either vote up the questions or ask really good ones that get votes, or we're going to wind it down because we have dinner
Wait,
upstairs.
are we that? How long do we? I thought we were gonna talk for like
We can
hours.
talk longer.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
just threatening them.
Oh, good.
You got to run with it.
Hey, listen up, dudes. You guys are like, I got 2 upvotes on these questions. There's like an extension thing. I don't know how to use it, but you can figure it out. Click around your screen or something. And Dave built it, and it's like really cool. You can ask a question to Ethan and I, and then you can upvote it like Reddit. Smile. And then we'll answer it. You have to log in to what?
To Twitch.
You're already logged in. You just posted chat, dude. like, you already logged in. What do you mean you don't want to log in? You're already logged in.
Yeah,
That's
they
some
just have to quit.
three-head shit, my dude. It's like you're
You're giving him 3 heads?
Yeah, of course. They're already logged in. I have to put in my social security number. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's asking me to log in. Oh, Dave, you've got to. This is the problem. This is why they're not doing it. They don't want to click the extra button.
Yeah, they're afraid to authorize the extension because that keeps people from re-voting, right? By knowing who they are.
Oh.
Because otherwise, one person just banging on the vote button.
I have an Amazon story.
Okay, Amazon.
Do you know the story behind one-click ordering for Amazon and why they did that?
I think so, but you tell me your version.
You're the guy.
Oh,
if you know it, then you should tell it.
Well, it predates me. Like one-click ordering.
Why
is
do you
before,
think it? Why do you think it happened? Because I also think I know, but I don't like really. I'm not like Jeff Bezos. I'm not like, here's why it happened. You know, like
Jeff realized that every time he took a step out of what it took you to buy, more people bought.
No, less people.
No. Every time he took a step out, more people bought. So if he could shorten the process.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So streamline, remove the friction from the funnel because there's dropout at every click.
Every single extra page before you got to actual transactions to increase the bounce rate by 30%.
Right.
Was my
And so he
understanding.
wanted to get rid of as many of those as he could.
Yeah.
And the ultimate way was 1 click, and now we try to essentially have
Which
zero
is
click.
literally like we have no interaction because people just CBA to actually, they literally can't be asked to click the login button, which is like what, 1 click maybe or 2 clicks maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
That's why we had a
so
60%
Chad has this
pass rate.
right. Every time you remove barriers, more people bought stuff.
Yeah.
So we actually now have tried to figure out different ways to make it 0 click. So we have things like subscribe and save, which basically sign up to get your,
That's a good meme.
Whatever.
Yeah, that is so powerful.
Yeah, we don't call it 0 click, but the idea is get you to sign up to get your chewing gum or whatever, your tea, shipped to your house once a month for a discount.
It's amazing.
And it's 0 click, as we're trying to get you down. And if you've never seen the video, a few years ago, somebody did a funny ad. It was Amazon Yesterday Delivery, because we kept making delivery faster. So they did a spoof video of Amazon Yesterday Delivery. It's quite good if you haven't seen it.
That's great.
There's also a good one. Have you ever seen the Alexa video for senior citizens?
Wait, maybe. I'm not sure.
It's called Alexa Silver.
Yeah.
It is. And it scrolls through this huge list of all the names Alexa answers to that old people miscall because they're like, Amanda, what's the weather?
Wait, will it still answer?
No.
Oh, no, okay.
Well,
that'd be
Alexa
cool,
Silver is not a real product.
Okay,
It's
okay.
a spoof video.
That's like, this is a good market. There's a lot of
Esther.
Yeah. I get it. That's actually
it's
great.
terrible. No, that video is like certainly it's funny, but I'm sure it's very ageist and
Probably
whatever.
some 2019 problem with it.
Even 2018. Yeah.
Oh man, that's not good. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Gertrude.
Let's see. So now we have something voted up. How could these tests be improved? I think one example is interpreting and reading the results is difficult. Yes.
That's actually really good. I don't know how to answer this question, but I just thought that your thought was good. So there you go.
So I don't think
to it.
your point there on your specific suggestion. Most of the tests want you to have them interpreted by someone who's been trained at interpreting them. So they're supposed to be facilitated by an expert facilitator, of which I am not one, and which Devin, who took them for the first time, is not one. But go ahead.
I thought that was what this was.
Me interpreting you?
Yeah, we haven't done that. Are you gonna do that?
No. I'm not a trained interpreter. I wanted to see what
Why
you
did
thought.
I pay $100 for this, dude? That's what I came for. So I've not been interpreted, and I'm gonna leave uninterpreted, and I'm not gonna ever know my truth.
I don't know if that's true. I have a feeling over dinner you will be interpreted heavily.
What is that?
We're just not.
I'm mauled, dude. Yeah, they're gatekeeping the interpretation.
No, we did some of it. Like I agree with the fact that your that your ESTJ matches you, right? That you're extroverted, that you're high on thinking. We talked at length about how you're not empathetic. Interestingly, there's a concept called empathetic to yourself. Do you think you're empathetic to yourself? We talked about
What does that mean?
Well, that was like the context of you scheduling the trip to Pittsburgh. You don't have high empathy for your future self. You couldn't project forward that you were going to hate that trip.
Yeah.
And so you
You
signed
can't
up
say
for
that,
it.
man. I was gonna love that trip, but just ended up not going. Yeah. Yeah. That's no, you're right. Yeah, 100%.
It's okay. We can talk Garvey. There's some staff lurking here. I've seen some names go by that are staff. They're just hiding under their alternative name.
Monka Giga, dude.
Yeah. So
Yeah. No, that's right.
So we,
yeah.
we can be honest. We can say, Garvey, if word gets back to you, Pittsburgh is a long way and a lot of indirect flights. Schedule Devin for University of Washington, maybe University
Did I tell you
of Oregon.
what we did for Emerson? That was really cool.
That's where you
We
dialed
called
into the
in,
class.
and it was really neat.
that's a
Yeah,
huge
that
win.
was so cool. Yeah, it was really cool for them, and it was really cool for Twitch, and it was cool for us too. That was a great model. Like we want to do more of that.
All right.
I hope we do more of that.
I think we should do that. I think you should do it, and I think we should do it.
I'm getting offers from colleges.
Yeah, we
to
should do it
Yeah, that's
tandem
cool.
sometime.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be fun.
You mentioned that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be super
Yeah,
sick.
it's probably something I don't even have to come to your studio. I could just do out of my office.
If you wanted to, but we could come to the studio.
Yeah, well, that's just further.
Yeah.
But, I mean, show the power of the interwebs. Drop in from everywhere.
True.
Deorbit on those students from anywhere. All right. So interpreting the results, though, it is difficult. I think part of it is the companies want to keep a private industry for interpretation. The other part is basically people want to like read the top line summary and be like, oh, this says what I like, and it says I'm good at this and bad at that, and move on. If you really want to go deep on it, you need to either work with a coach, or you just need to study up on it more. There are very deep reports. Dave, you're in the middle of debugging, or can you flip back over to like strengths finders and scroll through it real quick?
Totally.
Yeah, so maybe our problem here, Dave, is that like the icon of the question extension doesn't really convey that it's for asking questions. Like that might be a UX opportunity.
That sounds like a Twitch problem. So yeah.
Well, but you can change the icon.
Yes, but people didn't know that you could mouse over, and they weren't even finding the extensions.
Yeah, well, that's a
if
Twitch
you mouse
problem.
over anything in the video, can you see it?
Yes, it pops up in the right.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Isn't it? Like,
But we could make it communicate, ask questions here better. So we'll take some UX feedback from that.
Thank you all.
We need to. We'll stick Paintbrush on it.
Exactly.
Paintbrush is here, thinks it's Pog, so we can get some help.
he's trying to recruit you to Amazon. Leave the chat now.
Not true.
Yeah. I'm kidding. I'm
Hey,
kidding, I'm
you
joking.
sent Paintbrush to me, and
Yeah,
I
I did,
gave
yeah,
advice.
yeah,
You wanted
yeah.
me to advise.
Well, I'm interested in the career development of team members.
Yeah.
And want the best for them. Yes.
Right.
That is making me super nervous.
Over the laptop?
Yeah, that was amazingly confident. Yeah, that was insane.
You know, it sheds pretty well.
Okay.
But that might be my upgrade strategy too.
Yeah, maybe.
I posted ideas in the group chat. Perfect. What's that? So just
Yeah.
how long is the strengths finder? Put it up, but then scroll through it. Like how long is it?
What do you mean, how long?
How many pages? There's actually a lot here. Is my point. All right, we're gonna move on to the next question.
So actually, though, real quick, I think in terms of interpreting results, Strength Finder actually tells you the best out of any of them what's going on, for sure. So Strength Finder like is in terms of resources to tell you what those results mean. I think Strength Finder did it best, for sure. Yeah, MBTI told me nothing because it totally expects the
coach to
interpreter.
do it. Yeah, the interpreter.
So now I just am never gonna have that, I guess. and then Disc was like also weird in that way. It was like, yeah, Disc was like
MBTI though gives like
Yeah.
what 25 pages of what it all means. I mean, it's quite long, 15 pages.
No,
Strengths
Finder does. Yeah,
does,
MBTI gives you a page. It's like you're an ESTJ.
Yeah, I think I have a longer
Yeah.
report.
Yeah.
It's all. what
Maybe
you
that's
think.
just like there's like a bunch of different types of reports.
All right. You can go back to us now. So we'll get to your question, Shinabazu. We'll run through them. All right, let's go to the next one. Examples of practical applications of Strengths Finder in the workplace. I think we've covered this. The application, number one, is use it to help other people understand how to work with it.
Let's do this. Like,
Okay.
what I'll do for you is I'm gonna pull up real quick. So my number one Strength Finder result was restorative. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna read you a few things from it, and you'll kind of get an idea for like why I think.
Yeah,
this
you
is,
pull it up.
Yeah.
Swap us over to his Strengths Finder, and I'll show you what.
So for
start
the
talking.
why your restorative is unique.
Is that one?
It says it's very likely that you enjoy working independently to improve in areas where you struggle to succeed. Conquering your shortcomings probably gives you much satisfaction. By nature, you traditionally figure out what you need to do better by evaluating data, evidence, or facts. Chances are good that you invite people to tell you what they think you could or should do better. You aim to acquire the skills and knowledge they suggest. You take their comments seriously. Instinctively, you gravitate to conversations in which intelligent, unemotional, and reasonable thoughts are freely exchanged. Driven by your talents, you habitually spend some time thinking about things you can upgrade, repair, or do better in the coming months, years, or decades. So I felt like from the Strengths Finder test, and then they also said why you succeed using restorative. You love to solve problems. Your ability to analyze a situation, identify potential shortcomings, and modify as needed makes you powerful in times of difficulty and crisis. So I felt like Strengths Finder actually objectively, clearly described some things that I can do with the results. And I didn't get that feeling from anything else.
Come.
Yeah.
And so we displayed this. We put this up, so they're all looking at the same
Cool.
thing. Exactly what you saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it did that for all of my results. And then there's another really kind of cool thing it does, that as you get lower in the results, it actually pulls up lower things. I don't know if that makes sense, but like right now there's like 5 of them.
Yeah.
But if I go down to like number like I don't know
10 or
yeah,
something.
yeah, like it'll be just one of them.
Oh, it pulls
Yeah.
up fewer things you can do with it.
but it's still a specific thing to me. Like, so example, I'm just going to go randomly down to 8, responsibility. There's only one thing, but it's you have a deep sense of dedication and feel ownership to your commitments. You are a person of your word, and others know that they can rely and trust you, which is totally true. I actually do take my word very seriously. And so I think that, like, even as you go down on the Strengths Finder, it can help you.
You get something
You get
actionable
some,
or that you can
yeah,
know
some
about
valuable
yourself.
input. Whereas I think like MBTI and DISC tell you sort of a broad spectrum of the kind of person you are. But this feels much more specific to you.
Okay.
Or did to me.
All
and
right,
you
good.
were right about your water prediction. I'll be right back. Later, dudes.
So, example, the other place I've used this in the workplace is understanding that when I run into someone who behaves completely different than me, they probably have a different personality type. So I used to work with an engineer on my team who was the most pedantic person I ever knew. If I said, this glass is half full, he would want to say, well, it looks more 55% to me because it's slightly more than half. And so that was very hard for me because I'm like, yeah, it's half full. That's what I said. But he was so precise, and this is a trivial example, but for him, he could not move on unless we could agree on the very precise terms and the precise definition of the problem we were discussing or the solution. So I had to learn 2 things. 1, when I was working with him, be very precise. 2, sometimes ask him, I understand I'm not being completely precise here. Can you look at the big picture with me for a minute? So, all right. Let's hop to the next question, and I'll take it while Devin's upstairs investigating dinner because I heard him get distracted on his way to the restroom. How can a team improve their teamwork by taking these tests? Oh, good question. So, at Twitch, for example, where I took the DISC test most recently, the whole team shared their test results. And one of the ways we actually did it, DISC has only 4 results. Dominant, influence, S and C, which I don't have, so I don't remember them, but we could look them up. And people went and stood, well, I'm not empathetic, right? We covered that. My audience is laughing at me for being so candid or being so me. We actually went and stood in the room near each of our types so that you could see. It was very interesting because several people on the team and suddenly they're all in the influencer corner, or they're all in the dominant corner, or they're all in the supportive corner. And you could start to realize like, oh, that makes so much sense. When I work with these people, they're supportive. So I'm answering this question about how can a team improve their teamwork by taking these tests. Yeah, and one of the ways we did it is people broke up in the room by their test results. So you could see, you turn the team's test results into geographic distribution around the room. So you can see like, oh, those are all the influencers. Those are all the extroverts. Those are all the supportive types.
Yeah.
And because you work with them all, you're like, that totally makes sense now. I see why they're that way. Mm-hmm. And then you know how to interact with them differently. Don't ask a conscientious person, that's one of the DISC types, one of the ones I couldn't remember because I'm apparently not that very much, to break rules or to rush to inaccurate results or to turn in an assignment or a work project before it's done correctly. That will be hell for them. Whereas other people, it'll be fine. They'll be like, yeah, it's directionally right. It's half full. We're good. The conscientious person is like, I don't know how full your glass is. I have not measured it. So it's just very different. And you can learn to work with them that way. All right, let's see. A lot of these questions are kind of on the same topic in a way. We'll go to the next one. How do you evaluate the right situation to lean into your strengths versus covering your weaknesses? So I answer this question on stream all the time in a way. So I'll like focus on strengths versus focus on weaknesses. So we'll let you answer it. If you're building a career, if you're advising people, when do you focus on your strengths and when do you focus on mitigating your weaknesses? Like if you're trying to get better. Well, you've had employees. What do you want them to do? More strengths or less weaknesses?
I don't know. This is a really tough question, actually,
Okay.
because
Good. Tough questions are fun.
the there are a lot of so the current meme right now in like motivational self-improvement world is you focus on your strengths. That's what everybody says.
And the test is called Strengths Finder.
True.
It's not like
Yeah.
weakness mitigator or weakness fixer.
But I feel like leaving your weaknesses open might cost you more over time than you might know. So I would say as a person, I focus much more on my weaknesses than and like maybe that's not good. Like, but that's just what I do. Like I will look for what's wrong and I'll try to get better at it.
So let's test this.
Cuz the things that I'm really good at, I'm already really good at.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're good at what you're good at. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get paid for your strengths or your weaknesses?
You get paid for your strengths.
Right. So if you want to get paid more,
What if your weaknesses bring your strengths down?
yes, what if? Run with it. We're
Okay,
going
so then
Socratic
you're,
now.
and you're 50. No, but like you're what if so if you have a strength, let's say that your strength is advertising.
Okay.
Yeah. And you have a weakness of procrastinating.
Yeah.
So that you can't. I'm not speaking about myself. It really sounds like it. Maybe I am speaking about myself. Procrastinating is actually not something that I have as much of a problem with before. But like, your procrastination brings you down in your advertising skill by 30%.
Yeah.
Okay. So by eliminating procrastination, you could increase your advertising capability by 30%. You'd be better paid. You'd be more effective at work. That's my argument.
So
What do you think?
well, so you're literally there. Interestingly, you're talking about eliminating procrastination specifically to improve your advertising. So you're actually still improving your strength. It's just your method.
Wait, what? Is that true?
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. No, you're improving procrastination. You might have just screwed my whole world up. Hang on. Like,
Why were you improving? What was your argument to improve procrastination? That it was bringing your strength of advertising down.
well, it should lift all strengths.
Well, that's a different argument. But you literally made the argument, I'm going to do this to raise my biggest strength higher.
Yes, I made that argument.
Okay.
I would say the way that I think about it in like day to day is like, how do I get better at my weaknesses to rise all of my strengths? So in that sense, I usually focus on very broad things like better focus, because focus can hit a bunch of.
All right, so we haven't
different
involved
places.
chat here very much. We'll go this way. This will be fun. We're gonna pivot this. So
Okay.
if you play a competitive game,
Yee.
you're a gamer, and you're pretty good. You're even very good.
Mm-hmm.
Is the competitive gamer? I actually don't know the answer to this. I want your opinion. But you coach competitive gamers.
Yeah.
Did they get better by focusing more on honing their strengths, or by mitigating weaknesses?
Oh shit.
In the gameplay.
So I've never thought about this, but the truth is, the way that all professional now, just because this is done this way doesn't mean that there's a better way to do it.
But it's
the way that it's done is you do scrims.
Yeah.
So what'll happen is you practice against another team.
Yep.
You watch the tape of that. You
Yeah.
go over what you did wrong and you try to improve it. So they focus on weaknesses.
They focus on mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's interesting. So I wanted real data on it because
Yeah.
I'm interested with the gamers. Obviously, everyone in chat.
It's a really good question.
Do you get better at trying to be? Because, for example, right, the different roles. You don't generally like, oh, I normally play support, and so now I'm gonna like learn to be a main. If someone's on a team because they're the like expert at playing the support character, I assume you don't try and make them into someone who plays a main or someone.
Yeah, but that's not that analogy is weird, because that would be like if somebody is a carpenter, okay, you don't try to make them into a nuclear engineer.
No, but it works.
It's actually literally like top and middle and bottom are different roles. It's not different strengths. It's literally different roles.
Well, but
Yeah.
in the workplace, advertising is a skill. Procrastination is a flaw.
Yep.
And so that's those are apples and oranges as well. The point is, this is interesting. It depends. Either you have to think of, you're not good at advertising. You're good at getting things done. You either have to compare traits behavioral patterns or you have to compare skills. You were mixing and matching. I didn't realize this, but you were mixing and matching across categories.
Yeah.
Because you were taking
you're
a
right.
skill or an expertise and then talking about a behavioral flaw.
Yes. Yeah, I was doing that.
I think,
You're good.
yeah.
I didn't see it either.
So,
Good one. Yeah.
because behavioral flaws are always going to weigh you down. But if you have a skill strength, are you better improving the skill strength or trying to learn a new skill, like a weak skill? And that was why I went to gaming, because obviously, like, you can play all the roles.
Yeah.
But I'm good at one of them. I'm gifted as a main. I suck as support. I shouldn't go try, like, I'm a pro main player. I'm probably not going to be a pro support player, like, ever, or
Well,
unlikely.
Okay, all right. When we distill the question down to that, it's that we're basically saying, should a top laner focus on being a better top laner or focus on playing all the roles?
Yeah, and I assume it's being a better top laner.
Yeah, but is there any value in that like conclusion?
I think people get
This is not like-
distracted in the workplace. Things aren't as crystal clear as what's a top laner and what's not, and they get sucked into, like, I'm a brilliant salesperson. I suck at writing reports. Am I going to be more rewarded for improving my report writing to my boss or for closing more big deals?
I see. Yeah.
And so, because it's not as clear as, like, oh, it's not as black and white, because in a game, you can be paid for only doing the one thing ever. But in the real world, most employees have to do a bunch. Like, you think of your job. There's some things you're gifted at and some things you're not, but you
Yeah.
have to do the things
Do
you're
a lot
not
of stuff,
sometimes.
especially if you're in a small company.
Right.
Yeah.
And but what's going to make Nerd Fusion more successful? It's probably you focusing on doing the thing you're best at
Yes.
more
Yeah.
and better,
Yeah.
not improving your ability to stock the fridge or to renegotiate the lease on the space or whatever is kind of a tertiary.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's where I would say you focus on your strengths. The issue is, this is a great discussion. It's
really good,
I will be
yeah.
clear. I tell my chat all the time, you have to keep your weaknesses from getting you fired or taking your business under. But once they're not crippling, because you can't be a total troglodyte, right? You can't be. No, you can't.
Yeah,
Like if you're such a poor communicator that people are like, I have no idea what you said. Like, they're just like, okay, you seem to be really smart, but I don't understand a thing,
I
so
don't
you're
understand what you're
useless.
saying. Yeah.
Then that's no. You have to improve that.
Right.
But once you're above that, focus on your strength. And sales is the place where this is. Elon Musk. Elon Musk does a lot of things shitty, but he invents really well. He inspires. He raises money. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe in talent. That's
Uh-oh.
correct. But that's
Stretch right now, please. That's got to be Kyle. But we're both here hydrating. How dare you change your Twitch name? Change it back.
I don't believe in talent, but that's not relevant to this. Like what I agree with what he's saying 100%. Yeah. That's
now
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Anyway, yeah, I would. My other analogy for this, you just look at sports stars, like physical sports stars. They work like, if a quarterback doesn't run well, but it has a great arm, he works on throwing more passes, not becoming mobile. So
So maybe what a personality test can do is help you identify the strengths you should work on.
And yes, and be aware of the weaknesses to see if they're crippling, because you can talk to that trusted advisor and they're like, yeah,
100%.
you are so bad at that, I can't take it.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah.
And they can give you tips on how to change them.
Yeah.
Like they will tell you, like, this is what irritates people, or this isn't what's happening, is what's not happening. So this is a question I answer all the time, though. Build your strengths. To your point, you were comparing a skill to a personality weakness,
Well,
a behavioral trait.
So if you asked me the question,
Yeah.
do you spend more time focusing on your strengths or your weaknesses? I would answer weaknesses.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you really mean your behavioral difficult, like your
But those
behavioral.
are objectively weaknesses.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, yeah.
But when
But if
let
we wanted to
me
call
go
them
backwards.
flaws,
Here's
yeah.
what I'm trying to figure out. When you think about your weaknesses, are you thinking about things that are behaviors or poor skills?
Both.
Okay.
But here's the thing. So let's not do an apples and oranges comparison, because before I compared a skill to a behavior. So if I could compare a behavior to a behavior, what's something that I do very well as a good behavior? As a good behavior, I tend to clean up things. Like I'm pretty good at that. I have like some small things I don't do, but I tend to be like pretty what's the word? Tidy. Like
I'm appealing to the judge for a lifeline. True?
Is that true? Lisa? Yeah.
All right, confirmed.
Yeah. Or like
Strength confirmed, chat.
or like, or I mean, it's not like a like what's a behavior that you think I do that is like really good?
It's really good.
Yeah, that's super good. 'Cause I can't think of one right now.
You're pretty agile.
Meaning,
Meaning, if I want you to like do something, even though you don't necessarily agree to it,
Mhm.
then you do it anyway and try to like maintain it.
okay, thank you. Yeah, so she's saying that I'm very agile in sense of like, so like an example would be one time she said, hey, I don't really like clothes in the bathroom. It's kind of annoying, and I agreed, and so I just never did it again. Like that just never happened.
Yeah,
to this day,
okay. So
right?
when yep.
That's a good behavior, but I never focus on that. I never think about improving it. I never get better at it. But like when I think about something like, I tend to wake up late, right? Where I wake up late in the day. My like singular focus in life right now is entirely on that, like a laser, like the eye of Sauron. Like all I think about is improving that every single
So
second.
have you had
Yeah.
success?
No.
Dramatically improving your weaknesses?
Yes, definitely. Oh, definitely, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
But you
like,
haven't yet had success on getting
that
up on
is
it.
well, but like I think the person that I started off with, like when I was like 20, it was just a disgusting goblin of a human being, right? That just didn't do anything right. And the person that like that sleep.
By the way, chat nailed you on a strength. You aren't afraid to disagree.
Oh, thanks.
That's
Appreciate it. Yeah.
a good
Thank
one.
you.
That's a real
Thank you.
behavioral strength.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, and so like I was just like when I started off at like 20, I was like you would not. I couldn't do anything. There's no way that you and I could have had a conversation. It just wouldn't have happened. Like we could have had one. I could have spoken English to you, but you would have been like this idiot. Like, and that would be the end of it, right? Like, so building on those behavioral weaknesses, things like doing things and learning and being studious and industrious, having more conscientiousness, being tougher, everything, right, led me to the person that I am today. And that sleep demon, the one of like waking up late, is like one of the last bastions of like critical behavioral weaknesses that I have. I've pretty much stamped all the rest of them out of existence. So yes, it's like been a huge thing.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
about it?
of course.
Because no one is holding you accountable other than yourself.
There were other weaknesses that I had where no one held me accountable as well. And that's not true. There are a ton of people that these freaking idiots post clocks in my stupid Discord and for pages and pages of clocks every day that I'm late. So there's a lot of people holding me accountable. What's that?
What's the consequence? You've been dealing with
It makes me
the
feel bad.
consequence.
Listen,
They're
They're laughing 'cause they don't-
change your behavior.
What I'm saying is like there are other behaviors that I've had a lot of problems with in the past that I just held myself accountable for and they were fine. The sleep demon one is just particularly vicious because of a lot of reasons. Yeah, things like like I have to change my whole perception of time to do it right. But I go to bed at like 3 or 4 in the morning every night.
Yeah.
And I just can't not do it. Yeah. It's really, really rough.
I mean, I could go to bed at like 6, but can still wake up for my job at like 8:30.
You're so amazing. Super cool. I wish I was you.
Oh wow! All right.
Yeah.
By the way, Garcia 590, I need to thank you for cheering earlier. Good job.
The clock still work. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna go to the next question. It's gonna be quick. Have you used the Kolb A assessment? No. Kolb measures your instinctive way of doing things, and the result is called your method of operation. Sounds cool. I'll have to check it out.
Yep. Answer is no. Cool story, bro. Next question.
Yeah, unfortunately, but good. I love that somebody new to ask me about some test I've never heard of. I'm super curious about them.
Next one is the same question as well.
Is it? What
one we just argued
What
about
percentage of
for
your time and
30
effort
minutes.
should you spend improving? So it's a percentage question. I don't know. Like, it's good though. Obviously, by the way, improve either of them will make you better. You're already winning if you're just trying to like systematically improve your performance. I would focus on strengths. Devin focuses on weaknesses.
Literally the same question.
We've both
again.
done both. All right.
Key takeaways. We already answered this.
Yeah, we answered that. Hey, we're all right.
If you could ask anything to a dude that how many people? How big is your team?
Now it's about 150. My max is 800.
That has 800 people and literally the most sophisticated Twitch streamer on Twitch, okay? You can ask any question.
All right, we're opening
What
it up for 15 minutes of Ask Me Anything, then we're eating.
Is that
So,
what's happening?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
totally what's happening.
I-
So we'll give them 15 minutes of AMA. We'll answer this question from Shinabazu. because we
Okay.
promised we get to it.
Because I
It's-
have questions I could ask you about the personality stuff if you want. But if we're like,
Well,
they
I
don't
mean,
really matter.
all these
Yeah.
folks are going to get hungry. We have a loyal and adoring audience here that needs food, and if we
Roger.
send them upstairs,
Yeah.
we can always cover some of this on the resume show. So don't feel bad.
I
Like
don't.
we have like
I don't
lots
feel,
of hours
I don't ever
that
feel
day.
bad. I have no empathy, Ethan.
That's true. You don't feel bad imposing on others. You feel bad a lot.
Oh yeah.
That's, I wonder what that is. We have to, like he
called-
feels
it's called-
like shit about himself.
It's called imposter syndrome.
Oh
Yeah,
right,
it's
yeah.
literally what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So he's no empathy for anybody else because yeah. All right. So I am in charge of running a streamer community in Las Vegas. I'm finally in the process of adding staff. This basically has to do with like when to fire volunteers, I think, right?
When working with volunteers, how should I select people to work with? And if I end up working with someone incompatible for my team, how should I ask them to leave? Or I even should leave. Ooh, who should answer this first? I feel like if I answer it first, it will inform. No, it won't. He'll always answer separately. I should answer first
Okay.
because you're gonna. I don't want my.
Yeah,
I'll
answer.
be influenced by your answer, but you won't be influenced by my answer.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
you
my
go
answer
ahead.
isn't
Yeah,
better
yeah,
than yours.
I
Okay.
agree.
So I don't think you should have volunteers. Even if you can pay them even if you can pay them a little, then you can hold them accountable. The problem with having volunteers is that you can't rely on them for anything. They'll work as long as they feel like doing it, and you can't set a good system of expectations. That's answer number one. The next part of your question, how should I end up working with someone incompatible for my team or just ask them to leave? It's never a fun thing to do, but it's just a very straightforward conversation. Like, hey man, I don't think this is really working out, and I wish you the best. If there's anything I can do for you, let me know. But I just, we're gonna move on. But I actually don't think you should work with volunteers. That's my answer.
Okay, awesome. That's your answer. As usual, we disagree to begin, and we'll see where we meet up in the middle.
I love it. Okay.
So,
Yeah.
but we're gonna go Socratic first. Did I pay you to come here?
Yeah, you paid me in your presence because that's worth its weight in diamonds, Ethan.
So, but that isn't what you could pay your you could pay your volunteers in your presence or
Presence
attention.
doesn't have any weight. What?
You could pay your volunteer, like people who want to volunteer for your channel. People who want to volunteer for your channel.
Easy. I pay my mods.
I know that,
Yeah,
but there are people who would volunteer to do that job.
Wouldn't do it.
Right, but I understand that. But the point is, I didn't pay you to come here, but I held you accountable to be here on time.
I have an enormous amount of respect for you.
Could volunteers for your channel not have respect for
Would
you?
you pay me to be on your team for Twitch Prime?
Would I pay you to be on if I needed a marketer?
Yeah. Why
Yeah.
why not just do it out of
Why
respect?
not have volunteers?
Well, no. Why not just because you know I respect you and I'll
Right,
do things
right.
for you. Why not just ask me to do it?
Okay, so I don't think most volunteers. It's actually a time expectation. Most volunteers cannot volunteer full time.
Do you feel like I would do the same quality of work?
It's a fair point. I guess you're being absolutist. I think you can work with volunteers and you have to have measured expectations of what they'll do. But I know you can't hold them as firmly accountable because they are volunteering their time.
And for someone on your team, would you want to hold them more accountable or less accountable?
Of course I want to hold them
You
more
want
accountable.
to hold them more accountable. Do you think that a person being paid has more accountability to you than a person volunteering?
Only if the pay is meaningful.
What does that mean? What's
It's got to be.
meaningful mean?
So, if you're paying someone $10 and they don't really, the $10 is not material to them, it's not going to significantly change their accountability.
Material as in like they feel like it's a...
It's changing their lifestyle. It's their way of living. In other words, when I pay people at work, it is their entire or primary living so they can eat, have houses, etc. That's hugely influential. Are you paying your mods a living wage?
No, not even close.
So-
but do you feel like the actual transaction of money, the fact that there is a transaction going on, creates at least an air of accountability? Because I think it does. I think so. Let's say,
of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even if
Being
it's
paid.
$10,
Yeah.
I
Sure,
think it's a different conversation than I'm
accepting-
working for you for free. Yeah.
that's true. But as an example, my channel is mostly volunteer run, but there's an exchange. Your point is, I'm not paying people in money. There is an exchange of value. I normally am helping. Almost all the volunteers on my channel have come through a coaching relationship. So I'm offering them one-on-one wisdom. So in a sense, I'm paying in kind in a barter system.
Yep.
So in that sense, you may be right.
So yeah, there has to be an exchange of value. So the example that I would
Okay,
use,
so your point is not really pay with money. It's there has to be an exchange
but
of value.
money is the easiest way to get to it.
Of course,
Yeah.
it's the most unambiguous.
And so the example
agree
that I
with
would
that.
use is so I get requests.
By the way, when I'm with you, I speed up my talking like 4 times.
Why?
Because you do. You
Awesome.
you talk like you talk like one of the chipmunks. You're like that fast. So now
Alvin?
I'm just
Yeah, it's
either
good.
that or maybe Chip and Dale. But it's like this. It does this to me.
It's good.
So now
You get
I'm
excited,
going to have
man.
to measure things out and like slow it down. All right, keep going.
Okay. So I think that example I would use is with editors. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I have video,
Because one of your editors asked this question. It's perfect.
yeah, it's good. I probably get a request for someone to edit for my YouTube channel for free. I would say maybe at least twice a week. Okay. Someone just completely, and they have a great resume. They come in, they're like, dude, I'll edit your channel for completely for free. So I don't. So I actually I pay my editors pretty well. I didn't used to. I would pay them like just a certain amount per video. And are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, and then but I pay 2 ways. Okay. So one is I pay a flat rate.
Yeah.
And then the second way is I do career development. So like they're part of a team that gets you to be better. So people like Paintbrush Hero, he's on the team. Right? People like Player, it's also, hello friends, thank you for what you do. Like, you're amazing. They're on the team. Players has been introduced to Trainwrecks for stuff, has been introduced to other people like Paintbrush. I will preference them to get them in front of people. And if there's
So you're paying in both money and in kind.
Yeah, and if there's a Nerd Fusion project, like they'll be first to hit it. Like there's all kinds of ways to do it, right? So yes, that I do think now if a person just volunteered for me, and by the way, that's like how I started it, right? What would end up happening is they would start strong, but then
And
they
then
just
they
sort
get
of
bored.
fall off.
All right.
fall off the map.
So
Yeah.
we can now turn this into useful advice.
Yes.
When working with volunteers, how should I select people? The answer is you need to select volunteers who have one of 2 things. Who have a vested interest in your project, so they are getting paid through what they're contributing.
They gain something from
They
you.
get
Yes.
or they gain something from you, because he's running this streamer community, so they may gain something from being a figure in the streamer
Yeah,
community.
maybe it's exposure, maybe it's
Maybe
some
it's
kind
status,
of like,
maybe it's
exactly.
whatever. But essentially, what we're saying is nobody volunteers for work they don't like for no reason. So you've got to figure out why do they like it and what's going to be persistent and consistent about that. Because the people who volunteered for Devin, they like want a hit of short-term, oh, I got to work on this streamer stuff,
Yeah.
but then that doesn't last. So they're not getting ongoing value.
Yes.
And Cloud Carry, I have to say, there is quid pro quo only in the Ukraine, nowhere else. That word only has application in Eastern Europe. So anyway, I sorry, it was just laying right there. I had to go there. That's how you should select people, which is who can get long-term value either from you as a person or from the community and the work they're doing. Now, on the flip side, you ask, and you helped me see this. This was good. I learned something. That's why I said we start
Yeah,
disagreeing.
this is really good. Yeah, this is super
Because
good.
now I
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
you're paying in kind sometimes, and that's what I'm doing. And I agree, volunteers for no reason volunteers for no sustainable reason don't work.
But one short caveat, I will always
pay in
someone.
money.
Yeah, there will be some component of money, but I'll evaluate that against how I can serve them in a professional
fair.
sense.
You
Yeah.
like the fact that there was hard currency exchange.
I do think there's a meaningful difference in the psychology of a person that is accepting money from you. I do.
Sure.
Yeah.
That could be. I'll think about that more. There's certainly. Oh no, this is interesting. There's also clearly for you a meaningful psychology difference in how you feel and what you're willing to expect from people you're paying.
100%. Yeah.
So
and I make that very apparent. Yeah.
It changes
Yeah.
you because you're super clear. I'm going to pay you for as long as you perform to my expectation.
Well, but
then I'll stop.
But the other thing is that I also will build a sheet. So every single role that comes into existence around me has a list of objective KPIs. It's like, this is what we are going to like if you look at again back to the editors, there's a ton of documentation about exactly what that role is, how to do it, and like we iterate on that process live together as a team every day in our Discord channel.
Yeah.
And so like for a role, there might be like if I'm hiring for right now, for example, I'm hiring for an outbound sales position for Nerd Fusion. I want somebody to sell more stuff for us. One of the KPIs of that role is bring in 4 outbound sales opportunities every month. So have that activate as 4 new. We haven't decided it's 2 to 4, but one of those numbers. The point is they know exactly what that money is worth to us, right? I'm giving you money. You give me 4 outbound sales transactions. That's it. Like
Rich
super
homie
clear.
Sid, thank you for the Twitch Prime sub.
You're gonna have a lot of subs today. It's great.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good. People stepping up.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's nice. And Twitch Prime subs, I love all subs, but Twitch Prime subs are especially near and dear to my heart.
Because he made this.
Because I made this.
Yeah.
Of course I didn't really make subs. You could gift subs. I made sub gifting.
Did you
So-
really?
Yeah.
That's pog, dude.
Yeah. That was good.
That's really good.
Community gifting, the mass
Yeah.
gifting. Yeah, that was my team. Sub gifting
that was
like
my team. You know,
I made bits.
Yeah.
I
then he
meant
pops the biggest dab and like the lights turn off and like he just floats up into the sky. And it's
You like that? Is that what you needed?
you have to look the other way.
All right.
Yeah. But that was really good. I can't even deal with that right now.
He needed a meme. He needed his meme fix. He's down and crashed. All right. So on the other side, firing bad volunteers. Yeah.
Did a VP of Amazon just dab? That is what just happened. Yeah.
So, but that's a good place for me to say here. I only represent myself. I don't speak for Amazon. So
Amazon
a person
doesn't dab
who
as
works
a
at
company
Amazon,
policy.
Ethan Evans dabbed. Amazon did not.
Yeah.
Let's see. Finishing the question though, when you need to let people go, it's always the same. It's best to just be direct and say, hey, thank you so much for your help. I don't think it's what we need right now. I hope you remain a valued member of this community, but we're going to go another direction. If somebody's like, why? Tell them why. Like, you didn't fucking deliver, right? You were unreliable. You didn't stick with it. All right. Last question we're going to do is, what are your disc profiles? We didn't show
We don't
them.
have time, really.
Yeah, we're not going to bother going through them in
Probably
depth.
skip it.
But I'm a D. He's an I.
But I also got
You got super high on D.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
my second one is I. So once again, we're close to each other. You can look them up. D is dominant. I is influence. And so, yes, that goes right with my command and activator things from Strength Finder.
See, so Disc thought I was dominant.
Very much, just not quite as high
But
as your
Strength Finder
influence.
didn't think I was. Yeah. Mhm.
That's right.
Well, Strength Finder didn't think I was as high.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's one thing about taking several of the tests is you can kind of, the things they find,
Just mash together all the things you want to hear.
well,
into all
maybe,
three, yeah.
but the things
Yeah.
they find you have in common, they all say you're this, you
Yeah.
probably really are, because several different measurement techniques are showing you as that thing,
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
right?
I agree.
It's like multiple independent confirming measurements.
Are there a lot of tell Ethan he needs to go to the TC he did. He went to the Corsair party with us.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
You did.
No, the Corsair party was the one I wasn't at. I was at
No, you did go to the Corsair party.
That was Sunday night. I wasn't there. Legit, you sent me photos from it. I went to the.
This is not true. You and Audrey were at the party.
That wasn't
with me. That was Corsair. That was
No, Corsair. Then did they have another party Sunday night? Because you sent back photos from.
Well, this doesn't matter. Like this
Yeah.
is we can talk about this later. But yeah, the point is he did go to the. He was at that party that I saw you, Shadow Fox. He's at the same one. Yeah.
No, you're confused. It's
Possibly.
okay.
But we'll argue about this later.
Yeah,
This,
we'll argue
this
about
literally doesn't matter to the show.
TwitchCon parties.
Yeah, I shouldn't have answered the question. I'm sorry. Like okay, so like disc prof. Wait, where were we?
Do you want
Wait.
to talk about disc anymore, or do you want to go eat? We
I-
should do all the calls to action. When are we doing resumes?
Oh my God! Hang on. Wait, are we
All right.
done?
No, do this. All right, do this.
Wait,
Say anything. Here, I'll pour you water.
Well, I thought we were going to talk. No, I'm good. I'm just drinking this as like an
It's like a
anxiety thing.
reflex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like what is the What were we just talking about?
We were talking about the disc test.
No, chat. What was the thing I was just saying before that? Help. Now we gotta wait like 10 seconds, but it'll be there.
Yeah. All right. We're waiting. Waiting. Start typing. Everybody type.
Don't just spam emotes. We need better.
All right. They don't know.
No, they know.
They don't. All right.
Someone's going back to the VOD right now and like something about trying common things before multiple trysts. Tests?
Test. Oh.
We were trying to find in common. We were talking about how you can find multiple strengths in tests as a result of like and to get as
okay.
a result of seeing those themes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Okay.
cool.
So we talked about disc, not in depth, but that's what led to that point, which is looking at multiple tests will give you different views of yourself. And so we're done. We should talk about calls to action.
Okay.
So we're going to stream together sometime, not quite clear yet, Saturday morning, 10, 11, something like that. We'll stream. We're going to do resumes. So get your resumes in my Discord to me, in Devin's Discord to him.
I'll tell you how to do it on
yeah.
my Discord. I'll tell you about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we will go over resumes. I'll bring my resume so that you can see an executive resume. I still have to write it.
So cool, by the way. Yeah. He's actually writing a resume for this.
Yeah. So, because I don't currently need one. And then the name of the test is DISC.
So the name of the 3 tests we discussed today, MBTI, Myers-Briggs
Type indicator.
Nice. Yeah. DISC.
DISC.
What's that stand for?
Dominant.
He did it. Okay.
What? It's dominant, influence, supportive, and conscientious.
So good. Oh my god. And the strength finder. Okay, now what are the 34 strengths?
The 34 strengths. Okay, we're gonna go from the top here. Woo.
Yeah.
Woo is a strength.
Yeah.
Not one of mine, not one of his.
No.
Empathy.
Yeah.
Empathy is none of our strengths.
So Strengths Finder, MBTI, DISC. Those are your 3. You can take them. You can pay for them. You can take them free online. Or do some companies like offer them? Is that like a
thing?
a
lot of companies. Your HR department will offer one or more. You can do it for your whole team.
Yeah. Honestly, if someone came from Nerd Fusion was like, "Hey, I want to do this," I would totally pay for it. I think it's like a good.
Just the fact that for $50 they want to learn something about themselves, like they're
great.
motivated
Yeah,
enough. It's like
awesome.
this is a cheap investment.
Yeah, it's
in
amazing.
you.
Yeah, it's one of the best investments you can make in your staff. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
great.
So Lead Hephaestus, you should be testing your staff. I know you run a small team. Here's your chance. You can run a test with all of them. Come back and tell us. It's only going to cost you like $600.
Bam, baby. Yeah.
He's going to be like, what? You just spent $600 in my limited
You
money?
get discounts for more people. Though.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. All right. And then I'm going to be on stream again next week here talking about the difference between urgent and important or urgent and impactful
are you using
work.
The 4
yeah, the 4
That's
blocker.
so cool. Yeah, I love that thing. Yeah, that's awesome.
There you go. See, Hephaestus on it. We do a disc test for every new hire. He runs a small company here in Seattle. Tony Robbins has a free one. There you go.
That's cool.
So look, it's been great having everybody here. Thank you for coming. We're going to pop up all the links, which means join our YouTube, follow there. Drop a follow on this channel. This is your last chance to sub because you know you desperately want to because I made that.
You can say you can sub to the person that made Twitch Prime.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
This is the only channel where you can do that. I mean, let's be honest.
True. Yeah. Quite true.
Although it is really funny, one of the guys who works for me helped build the product. He leads it on a daily basis. His son is an aspiring Twitch streamer, and he streams under the name Prime Junior.
That's amazing.
So,
that's actually awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You've got an aspiring Twitch streamer in the family as well.
I do.
He came into the chat the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and asked me a very granular question about OBS.
Oh,
and
interesting.
and I answered him. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, thank
cool.
you. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
He's always complaining that the machine performance isn't there. So
He's right.
Yeah, I have work to do. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going to sign off. We're going to go eat dinner. Thank you all very much.
Discord.gg/Devin. I will have an announcement. I mean, you know where this is. I have an announcement I'll make tonight about like how to do the resume stuff. And then just work on your resume. That's your homework. If you want to submit one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to spend a few hours going through them.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. We'll slam through a bunch of them. We'll do mine. Mine will be imperfect, by the way, so you get a chance to try and find. I'm gonna like hide.
Oh, you're gonna purposely make it imperfect.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We'll just have a
Yeah.
debate
Yeah.
about what's imperfect.
I actually think we'll have like a lot of like really those like cool things we do where it's like we disagree and then we come to
We
like
find
a productive
the common,
conclusion.
yeah.
I think there'll be a lot of that on resumes because like I have a lot of like weird opinions about those.
You do.
Yeah.
No, never longer than one page, right?
That's a big
and
one.
cover
Yeah.
letters are the Antichrist or always?
Cover letters are great.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're because I knew you
But you
were
don't
very
like cover
extreme
letters.
on. I
Yeah.
think nobody reads them. Very
I
few.
totally disagree.
Well,
yeah.
that's
yeah.
Well, so I'll poll. What I'll do is I'll poll some Amazon HR between now and then.
That's cheating. That sucks.
No, why not real data?
Well, actually, yeah. That's well. Actually, you're right. And also, they might favor me, so that could be. You should
Yeah.
do this. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That's good.
They might be
Yeah.
like I'm
Yeah.
all over it.
Yeah.
Poll in a room.
What? You don't read them?
It's
All
just-
right. We have
it's
two
just like-
hiring managers here who both say they don't read them.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's just like a little bit of a dick move where it's like, okay, I'll tell a really quick story. This is a Destiny story for a lot of people in chat that want to do this. One day I was arguing against, I was having an argument about vegans in chat, right? And I
Okay.
didn't really know what I was talking about. So we were arguing about veganism, okay? And so Destiny brings on a doctor of veganism, and the guy just destroyed me, right? So that's like the equivalent of like, it's like, oh yeah, no, it does matter. No, it doesn't matter. It's like, well, here's the head of HR for Amazon. And it's like, and I'm like, well, come on, dude. Like, you can't just do me like that. Like,
Well,
you know,
now,
like,
later in November, I think it's right before Thanksgiving, November 25th, I am actually going to bring on the stream the head of Amazon Campus Recruiting. So he's run Amazon Campus Recruiting for 15 years. He's going to come guest here because I know a lot of people are in college and want to know how to get an internship, get a job. So I am cheating. I love that. It's pulling
See,
the
he
expert.
admits it.
But you have
Yeah.
Dr. K on your show, and he's an awesome guest.
Yeah.
Like you're pulling a Harvard. You're always dogging me for my Harvard people. Meanwhile, you have a Harvard
Absolutely.
psychologist
Yeah,
on your,
it's pretty legit.
and now you're
Yeah.
bringing him weekly. I mean, come on, that's
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
We've been trying to sign off for like half an hour, so let's call it. Thank you all very much. I'm gonna stand up. Yep. Thank you all for being. We got to squeeze in. Not anymore. Just take us to the end show. We're done. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cheers,
Very good.
everybody.
Fantastic stream. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for all of your good questions, your support, and everything. Follow this dude. If you're here from this community, absolutely follow this dude. He does stuff like this like every week, okay? And it's like things like even better than this because I'm not on the show. All right. I love you guys very much. Thank you very much for coming out for this. It was good.
Cheers. Good night.